You torch me? We'll send someone in.
Good morning, hippies. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, almost noon. Good almost noon. Just rolled one up. About to be feeling right. What's going on, guys? Hey, Melissa, Marie, Duffy, Daisy, Okie. Hey, Okie. Krug's wifey. Hello. Sandy, Lily White. Hey, Truth Seeker, Small Wildflowers. Hey, guys. Grain, good morning, babe. Good morning, Cambry. Chink, cheek. I said chink. I'm sorry. Cheek, pension, granny. Good morning. Hey, babe.
Ching, ching, ching-a-lang. Good morning.
Ching, ching-a-lang.
I've missed you.
I've missed y'all too. I've missed you too. It's been hard to squeeze in alive, you know.
Well, there's so much going on the streets, but not a ton going on. I don't know what I've been watching.
I know it's weird, right? Like there's a lot, but there's not a lot. It's weird.
Like they're talking about other people that I don't know, maybe before my time. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I do want to address something really quick. It's just something small and personal. Not really personal, like it's not about any other creators. Um, so I have received a few emails where people think I'm ignoring them in chats, and it breaks my heart because I swear to God, guys, if I got a problem with you, you'll know I have a problem with you because I usually tell you, like I let you know. Um, but there are a few people like they'll chat to me and I either don't see it or I put my phone down and they feel like they may have done something to me. I'm so sorry I'm so sorry. I don't want to make anybody feel that way, but I swear I'm not ignoring you.
Okay. Let me
What?
say something. Do you mean in other people's lives while you're in their chat?
I think so.
Okay. Let me just say something for all of those listening. I know she loves me. And she ignored me and chat all the damn time, and I am not butthurt. You know
And I'm
why?
telling y'all,
Because most of the time we be high. We ain't looking at all that whole chat all the time. We catch things
no,
here and there. We comment back to people here and there. I try to do good, but the tagging of other people from my phone, forget it.
forget
Forget
it.
it.
You got to type that shit all the way out. Forget it.
Yeah. So don't be offended, man. A lot
Yeah,
of
don't
times
get
she's on
offended,
her
guys.
phone, right?
Yeah, a
Most of
lot
the
of
time you're
times.
on your phone,
Yeah, if I'm
especially
not
another
sharing the
chat.
screen, yeah. And on other chats, absolutely. I'm not on my computer.
Yeah.
I'm super envious of the people that are on their laptop or their computer, which I have a laptop. I just don't feel like getting it going. But how they're able to just like beat him, he can tag you all the time, no matter what, because he's always on his computer, not his phone.
Hmm.
Um, and that's just not the case for me. Usually I'm on my phone, and that's what I was saying the other day. I can't remember where I said it, but most of the time when I come in somewhere and I say what up or whatever, and people acknowledge me and say hello and give me their love, it's not that I'm diminishing you. It's just I'm on my phone and I cannot possibly tag every single one of you. So I usually just put at chat, and I want y'all to know that's to each and every one of you. Like, I see your comments when I first come in. But now, with that being said, just because I interact in some of the chats and talk about whatever's being discussed on panel, it doesn't mean I'm there the whole time. For
Hmm.
instance, last night I was in Queens for a minute, and then I went back to doing other things, and I just let it play and listen. Well, then they said something that I was like, "Ooh, I got an opinion." So I went in and put my opinion, and Dad was like, hey, Jet," because I didn't acknowledge him because I didn't know, because I literally only went in just to put that opinion. I
Right. And
said,
lots
"Hey,
of
Dad."
times, like, I'm sure you're like other people, like me. I'm piddling around the house. I might be picking tomatoes, listening. When I walk back by my phone, I hear something. I may put a comment, put the phone back down, go do
All
something
the
else. So I'm
time.
not always watching,
Yeah, I
you
don't.
know?
Now, when I first came to YouTube, I did watch chat and engage in chat a whole lot. Y'all know that.
Oh, I do.
Um, but ever since I've started working again and I've gotten a little busier, I'm just literally like, I'll come in, say my hellos, I'll put my opinion here and there where I think, it needs to be, and then I move on. I don't really, I sit sometimes I'm just listening while I'm doing my diamond art, and I'll
Hmm.
hear something, so I'll comment, and then I'll put my phone right back down and go back to my diamond art. Then I'll pick my phone up, say something, put my phone back down. So I just don't want anybody to feel like you've ever done anything to me for me to be ignoring you. I promise. I promise, I promise, I promise I'm not ignoring you.
I'm
I'm
pretty
just,
sure she would comment at you and let you know.
oh yeah,
That's when you have to worry.
if I felt like you were in another chat talking shit about me or something, then yeah, I'd be like, "Oh, what's up?" you know, what the fuck's going on? So yeah, just I love y'all. I'm not ignoring anybody. Oki sent a super chat. So loves you. Sometimes people get in their silly feelings. It happens. I get in my feelings too. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that bitch didn't acknowledge me. And then I think, come on, Jessica. Come on. You can't
Right?
do
Like,
that
mm.
because you do the same thing. Let's play George real quick. Thank you, Oki. Just know I love y'all so much. And I'm just, elsewhere in my brain a lot of the times. Like yesterday, I was jumping between Deets and Queen, Deets and Queen, Deets and Queen.
Me too.
So I promise I'm not ignoring you. Uh, let's see.
Damn it, you better acknowledge every comment I send to you.
No, I don't. I'm not picking on anybody. I just don't want them to
I
think that,
know,
like,
honey.
it's okay. We all get in our feels sometimes. Like I just said, I do too. So
Oh,
it
I
is
felt
what
that
it
way
is.
before. I have. I'm not going to say I
Yeah,
haven't. And then I had to stop and think, well, look what I'm doing right now. Like, you probably hear me
I do
piddling
hear you
around.
fiddling.
Like, I'm always fiddle farting. That's what my sister says. You're the biggest fiddle farter ever. Hmm.
And then on top of that, on top of me doing other stuff outside of YouTube, I have YouTube stuff to do. So like I said yesterday, I was jumping between Queen and Deets. Guess what else I was doing? I was getting off of them completely, doing a little bit more of my morbid video, getting back on again. I mean, it
I
was
was going to
literally
say,
just
one time I'll
everywhere.
see you in chat. I'll see you in chat. And then the next thing I know, I get a notification and you just did a little video. I'm like,
Yeah,
she's
girl,
chatting and editing and mhm.
it's a lot. It's a lot,
Yeah.
but it's okay. I love it. I enjoy it. Um, there was some confusion yesterday from somebody saying that Deetz's live was like somebody was condemning Deets for having a live about the money live she had yesterday, and basically insinuating or saying outright saying that everybody's basically condemning her because of the chat, like not even necessarily specific chats, but I'm trying to think of a way to explain this correctly. Like, it's like she caught a snip of the live and was like, how dare Deets be holding a live about dry begging and money? Hello. Deets never said anything about anything. She also didn't give much of an opinion. It was a discussion between her and the chat. And she even allowed, put polls up for people to vote on. I
Lots
think
of them.
that's great. Why is she being condemned for anything?
It was a learning, like, I don't know how to explain it. She wants to learn what people think, and because not everyone thinks the same way about the way certain creators do. Um, what
It
I
was
want
a
to say,
good
make their
discussion.
money, you know, like,
Yeah, and look at all the different opinions that were in there yesterday. Even just the times I was in and out, there were
mhm.
so many different opinions
I mean,
and
some of
people
them were
who view things so
50-50.
differently. Yeah.
Some were 94 and,
So in
2%
my
the other.
opinion, if one of the polls is, do you does it turn you off when you hear a YouTube creator dry bag, right? If that's a
Hmm.
poll, you should pay attention to it. It's not a bad thing. It's getting the input from the community. I just don't get it. I don't get why it's a bad thing.
I don't think it is or was. I mean, I
People
was
are
answering her
complicated.
polls, and some of them I was like, ooh, ooh. And some of them I honestly had to stop and question myself because I said, it
Bitch, me
depends on who we're
too.
talking about. It depends on who we're talking about, who's doing the poll. Like, or not the poll, but how they're dry begging or what they're doing. And it was like, ooh, when you think of this creator, no, I'm not for that. But when you think of this creator, you're like, hell, I donated. So, I mean,
Yeah. And it's like
mhm,
you donate to who you want to donate to. If you don't mind their dry begging, then great. If you do, then great. Whatever.
mhm.
It's just to get the input and just to, pick people's brains. And if anything, you know what I did? I sat there like you and reflected
Mhm.
before I even answered most of the polls.
And one of them I didn't
I
even
had to
answer
think
because I
about
wasn't
it.
done reflecting. I was like,
Yeah.
really trying to think about it. I was like, really in my own headspace going, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I was too. And I think that's what needs to happen, though. And if I'm not mistaken, Deetz's opinion overall, just the gist of it, and she'll correct me if I'm wrong, But Deetz's opinion was she don't give a fuck if you make money on YouTube as long as you're
Mm-mm.
doing it and not victimizing people at the same time.
Mhm.
That's it.
Like
That's
even
it.
if it's a total grift for, let's say, uh, $4,000 sound machine or camera, right? If you're
Mhm.
honest about it, does that make it okay? And in my opinion, if you're honest, yeah, they
Yeah, if
told
you're
you up
honest, you
front.
know what? I might not like it,
But when you're
but
not
cool.
honest, and then that never comes to fruition, what you said you were going to do with the shit that you managed to get from grifting, that's the issue.
Hmm.
But that's after the fact. So it's kind of
Yeah,
a.
that's basically scamming, basically.
Mhm, mhm.
And it's like there's so many people that scam. Can you really call all of them out?
No,
It's because it's all different types of scams.
it
Or
is.
there's some that look like scams but are legit. You know what I'm saying? Like Queens. And it's like, how are you supposed to know?
I mean, I caught a few of those grifts from someone who was on someone else's panel. Okay, so not their own, so it wasn't their Cash App or their PayPal or their stream for super chats, but doing some little emotional grifting.
Oh, so they'll
Okay,
get they'll
yeah,
a visitor to the channel.
we don't see her anymore, but yeah, a visitor to the channel would sometimes in conversation, say some things, and I was like,
Oh, there's all type. That's what I mean, though, Grain.
that's a grift. That would be like
That's
me
a
right up
grip.
here on your panel right now saying, wow, I don't know if I'm going to pay my electric bill on time or if I get to go grocery shopping this month.
Yeah,
And like if I had a channel where you could then go and send me a PayPal, like don't I mean I know we all have our problems and we all talk about them, but some of the stuff was that I see as like manipulation. I don't like that grift. Do it on your
yeah.
channel, honey. You know,
Hey, Blunt B,
What up? How you
what up?
doing?
What you
hi.
think? What you think about this? Tell
Yeah,
me.
no, I thought you nailed it on the head. Some of these grifters could definitely they would have learned something. They would have paid attention to some of the polls. I mean, people were telling what they liked and what they didn't like about it, and it
Mm-hmm.
seemed like
Right.
it was just it's your preference. It comes back to you support who you're going to support, and I don't think people like other creators telling them what they should or should not do, which is 100% correct. Like who to
I
like,
agree.
who not to like, who to support, who not to support. I mean, we could just put the information out there of what they're doing, and maybe they need a little refresher sometimes on some of these people, like Grain was saying, that are saying, "Hey, I'm doing this for this," and then they never do it. They get all this
Right.
money and all this stuff, equipment, and they never do it. That's the problem, and that's where I
So
find
here's
And
it's a
from
so
what
lot.
I
my.
heard,
Oh,
I
I'm
didn't even
sorry.
hear her name names of other creators specifically when she was
She
asking
didn't. She said
questions.
she wanted
So
it to be
it was just
overall,
a,
not specific
yeah.
creators. This is. I mean, it's just. I don't know. I feel like okay. So my question would be, do we have a right? Okay, now this is what I came away with from Dietz's live. Do we have a right to call out the scams if the scams are just going to keep going and it's just going to cause wars? Is there a point in calling them out if the people are going to continue to support it? Like, should we more focus on, because we got off track a little bit, it was about the victims and the harassment of families and getting money for doing that, right? And then it trailed into getting money for scamming everybody, even just their subs, uh by selling fake stuff or whatever it is. Do we have a right to call them out, or should we stick to only calling them out when it comes to making money on victims?
Yeah, I mean that's the main
Hmm.
thing. I would say call them out for the victims. It's making the money off these families that are going through this or getting involved in it. There was a lot of good polls. I mean, I half the stuff I would I wanted to check them all. You know what I mean? They were all
I
kind of
know.
me. So, they all made sense in a certain, and like it's every case is different, like when you see someone like, I mean, I hate to put, I know we're talking general, but let's just say Dolly, when he puts Summer Wells on every freaking thing, or all these other people, it's out Summer Wells, and they don't even say a word about her. You know what I mean? The whole live, it's about,
Mhm.
some other bullshit. That's the kind of shit
That's
that I think is all
that's
right
a
to call
grift,
out.
right?
Yeah.
So
And
It's
we
just
got to pay
clickbait.
more attention. Like Dolly's soap don't fucking matter unless he's got Summers or any other victims' names tagged in the soap stuff, right? Because
yeah.
then
I
that
mean,
would be making money and drawing the attention to him by using those kids' names.
Mhm.
yeah.
But if they're not tagged, let's say if they're not tagged, and this is just an example like you, Packless, it could be for anybody. If they're not tagged, and we know that they're still scamming their people by whatever they're doing, making fake stuff or whatever, aka fake soap, do we call that out? No, I don't think we should. That's what
Yeah, I
I
mean,
took
you might.
away from
I mean,
Deep's.
it'd be all right to just mention it, I guess. Like especially if that was another factor of what they're doing. I mean, if they're still doing the tragedy, pimping thing, or bringing like Summer Wells. I hate to keep using her as an example, but bring her into it and then not talk about it. And then on top of that, they're doing this other messed up stuff, or not messed up, but lying. Basically, it comes back to lying to me. It's like, why lie about it? If you're straight up honest the whole time, it just makes more sense to go that route. Um,
I agree.
then you don't have anything you gotta like backtrack on. You don't have anything that you really should worry about. Anyone can talk shit at that point, but you're not lying about it. It's and then using other people's like names and stuff is a problem too. And that's all it's for. It's just getting your name out there. And I feel like I hate using an example, but it's just an example. But Dolly, he's pulling on these older, people's heartstrings and stuff like that. And then he's like, oh, by the way, I have some soap. It's like,
Right.
it's just
Mhm.
that's strange to me for sure.
It
And
is
I
strange,
mean,
but then if you're calling out every little thing like that, it gets exhausting.
it
You
does.
know what I'm saying? It's all over the place.
But to
It's
mention it
everywhere.
when you're doing the underlying, like I said, if you're talking about them exploiting a child or a tragedy of a family and the family itself, it's all right to throw a couple of things in there to point out to make your point. Kind of proves
That
your
this
point.
is
A lot
what
of
they
people look
do.
at one thing, you're like, oh, is that really so? And then you're like, well, yeah, you point out to all the other fuck shit they're doing, basically. And
Hmm.
it's just an additive to add on top. To me, anyways. Like you said, the main problem is them making money or doing whatever they're doing. They're grifting off of the tragedy of someone else or off of a kid,
Right.
basically.
And it's different. It's different levels of it because all of us make money off these kids in one way, shape, or form. Even if it's you calling out the people that are doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, unless you're not monetized, but you got the bigger creators that they are covering these cases and making money. The difference is they're not doing fuck shit while doing that.
Yeah, they're not lying. They're not throwing in some extra bullshit, to sensationalize it. Just that uh, shit, half the time they're probably fucking up the
Pascal
slowing
does
down the
sometimes.
investigation and other stuff like that. So I mean, they're definitely affecting the stuff, and that's sort of the problem I have with it. Um,
Yeah.
if you're just covering and saying the facts, that's great. I used to listen to people that just had the facts, and then when they started added extra stuff that you just know is not true, and eventually it comes out that it's not true. It's just like, come on, dude.
And they don't take it back usually.
Yeah.
What do you think, Green? Hey,
It's
Rowena.
there's a bunch of stuff. Like if he was doing a live and he had a victim's name, anybody's doing a live, and you have a victim's name tagged, and then you're talking just about
Hey, Remy.
trivial, not that anything's trivial in someone's case, but nothing new. You're just talking to harass the parents or whatnot. And then all of a sudden you say, oh, and here's some soap. I would feel differently if the soap you sold during that live stream, the proceeds from it went to some sort of victims advocacy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Mm-hmm.
toward you buying spy pen cameras and stupid shit to continue harassing people with. Like, people don't see that though. They really think that these people are helping in some way, or they just don't give a shit and they're just like them.
Well,
So
that's like
we can't combat that. I mean, that's
to
just
use Betty as an example, though, Grain. Like, she does say, well, we're the ones that are boots on the ground. You know, we're out there, me and my team, who her team's in the head, but whatever. But we, right? So she is always saying, at least I'm not sitting behind a desk doing nothing. Well, I respect those that sit behind the desk covering the cases, those like Burden, those like Grizzly, Gray. I respect them. When I
but
look at you, that is clown behavior. You are doing this because you're not smart enough to sit behind your desk and do the
it is.
research
And
and
listen,
put it out.
98% of the time she is sitting behind her computer, sitting at a desk. Okay.
Absolutely.
If you were a real victims advocate, we would only see you on YouTube that 2%, not the other way around. I'm just saying. Boots on the
I
ground
agree.
would be more often than we see her sitting behind her desk.
And she keeps talking about going on tours and I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. What do you mean you're going on tours? You're not.
Like you're in the military and you're on a tour of
Yes, like
duty? What
this is going
boots
to be
on the
her fourth.
ground?
This is going to be her fourth tour to Idaho. That's what she said. That's weird. Why are you saying it like that? That's like, yeah, keep your ass at home. That's what you should do. I don't know.
But should have just joined the military when she was of age to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think she
She's
probably looked
making
at
her
it like
own war in combat
entertainment
zones.
tour. She's thinking of an entertainment tour, like, hey, BHB is coming back into town.
Oh man, I can't.
Roll
I
out the
can't.
carpets and get the parade going. I mean, the
Exactly.
circus is coming.
Get the key to the city ready for me. I'm coming.
Yeah, let me cut the tape.
That's what it feels like, right? That's what. When you hear that, that's what you think of.
I'll put out them road spikes when she coming.
I don't know. I just think Deets has been doing some good lives, getting input from the community. Nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is doing it. I think the lives she's holding, giving people a chance to give their opinion and, do a poll on it. I think it's great. I think it's great. And I think that some people need to stop making problems out of nothing.
It is. I almost feel like it's like how I say about the good Nunya. I'm like, she's doing a social experiment and we're all her,
We're all part of her experiment for sure. For sure.
Deets is doing her own little educational for us and herself.
Yeah.
Like we said, it made us self-reflect on some of the questions and our own beliefs. Like, wait a minute. I did anyway.
Well, she was pointing out too, she made a few points where if you like someone, you kind of overlook something sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we absolutely do.
Too. It was definitely a little eye-opening in that aspect for me. I was like, yeah, it is kind of that way. You may overlook something because you like someone or tend to give them the benefit of the doubt, not another person. But I mean, it has a lot to do with history and other stuff too, and their activities that they keep doing.
It does, and things you know already that other people may not know, and you're not saying because you don't want to disparage someone else. So
right. You see what Crazy Granny said? She said, I side eye creators who said they call out people like BHB because they hate how she uses children for profit, while they discuss BHB with the same kids' names in their title while making money themselves. Yeah, because then you're doing the same thing. It's just, I don't know. We got the lines are blurred here, and we gotta figure out how to navigate. Yeah, Rowena, you're the link's pinned. Come on up, girl.
But you know what? The reason, okay, maybe the lines are blurred. Maybe my whole mind is blurred. But the
I
reason
think,
I
and that's
support
living. That's because we reside
Queen
in the gray area, Grain.
and you and some others, and I'll send a super chat now and again or whatnot, is because I feel like they need to be stopped. The harassment and interfering with cases and victim shaming needs to be stopped. And it doesn't seem like anyone else is doing anything about it except YouTube creators. Because it's a moral issue, not a legal issue, right? So, what else do you have to fall back on? I mean, you feel like you're part of ending something that's troublesome. I
Yeah.
don't know how else to explain it, but, and
Well,
that's my opinion, but this
what
is
do
what
y'all
we're
think?
talking about. Who do you donate to? Who do you not? It's whether you have the same common goals or understand what they're trying to do, or I don't support that shit that's going on over there. Boots on
No,
the ground bullshit.
no.
No. Uh-uh. Mm-mm.
Well, what do y'all think about what do y'all think about the gray area? There's in every situation, a lot of people see it's either black or white. It's one or the other. There's never any middle ground for some people. And I get that. I get that some people's brain don't work that way. But I do also believe in the gray area because I feel like I reside there. Do you know what I mean when I say that?
I do. Um,
Rowena.
Lots of times I'm in the gray area, but for this specific, and I know we're not really, but in my brain, I have a specific situation right now in my head. And it's
Right.
what BHB does versus what you and Queen and Nunya and, the people who speak on their ill doings, right?
Right.
That's black and white for me.
It is black and white for you.
Now, when you
I
say
think
gray area, do you mean gray gang? Are we talking gray gang?
no. Well,
Yeah,
yes,
I don't know what
I'll
gray
reside in
area
that gray gang.
is.
actually, yes, because Nunya resides in the gray area too. The gray area is when you can see both sides of most all situations.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the gray area.
yeah,
Now, when it comes to pimping these tragedies out and creating more victims and re-victimizing, yeah, it's black or white.
right.
But I'm saying just
That's
in
what I meant.
general and other, not even necessarily about the tragedy pimps or pimping money. Anything. Take Hills, for example, the racist
Mhm.
shit. There's a lot of people that are black and white, and there's a lot of people that are, kind of like they reside in the gray where it's like, I don't condone anything, but I'm not going to hate her either. I'm
I'm
not going to
charcoal.
Right.
harass her either.
That's why I said it's like I ain't gonna fuck with her. She's irrelevant. Do you? I don't wish any bad, and I'm not gonna hold anything against anybody that supports her. That's
Yeah.
everybody's right and everybody's opinion. And to me, if you, that's the way I am. But it's kind of like that's kind of like what this country's on. It's like it's cool. That's but when it hurts victims' families,
Yes,
I
that's the
can't.
problem.
I can't. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
I get
Mm,
that. Yeah, I feel the same.
yeah. I can't. No. 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 No.
Mm-mm.
Were
And
y'all
that's
talking
what
about
I'm
scammers? I'm one of those ones that hopped in late. Are y'all talking about scammers and what Deets was talking about and grifting and all that stuff?
Yes, that's what we were talking about.
Okay. Well, I'll be quiet until y'all get back to that. Go on,
No,
Green.
we can continue it. What do you think about it?
Um, I have that has happened to me. And until 2 days ago, I, people knew behind the scenes, and I have receipts, and it's very well known of what happened. But
So you
this,
feel like you got scammed in
I
a
very
way?
much got scammed. Oh, honey.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. And I have all the receipts. Yeah, I got very much scammed.
Well, why you need
I
to expose it, girl.
I trusted a creator.
Mhm.
Okay. I didn't know anything about another creator that they brought into the community
Mhm.
around the Summer Wells time. Uh, hadn't seen, didn't know about Jenny Jen Jen, didn't know about. I came from another community. Okay, I came on the other
Mhm.
side of the world, and didn't know about this person's history. And so I'm giving people the benefit of the doubt. I'm trusting, I'm believing what's being said on lives. And I'm going behind the scenes, and I need this, I need that. But in Discord, uh, I don't know how many storage units. That storage unit was paid for by multiple people, and yeah. And then you get to that's why I only had a voice like 2 days ago, because then you're scared to say anything because this person's chat is vile. They are real lifers. And she was called out. I mean, and she left YouTube for a couple months and
Rowena,
then came back.
put
Hmm.
it in the back chat.
Okay. Um, and it wasn't a small amount of money. Let's see if you know about that situation.
Who else came up with a
No, I
thousand?
don't. I
Okay.
know I know a little bits and pieces from what, and not
Yeah.
even really bits and pieces, just what I know my mom's opinion. There.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll put it
Me
that
and your
way.
mama need to talk. I'm sure she knows, but yeah, and the person that brought that person in, when they found out what all was happening behind the scenes, and nobody knew. It's like nobody, like, uh, everything. She did everything behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was like nobody was talking to one another. It's like, everybody respected everybody's privacy. I'm private. That's why I do things privately. And yeah, and she's continuing on. And now it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. And
Right.
but she wasn't like that um out front. You know what I mean? Like on a
Right.
lie, but
She's
she is
scamming
the
in the
same person.
background.
Exactly. Out of a lot, she got a lot of money from that scam that she did, and now she's being called out. I mean, if y'all want to know who it is, go look at Jenny Jen Jen. That's all you got to know. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll say shit, it's bombshell. That's
yeah, shit.
I'm gonna
Okay.
say it. Fuck it.
Well, I don't call her that. It's Bumshell, and I love Valoma. Valoma has my receipts. She was, and then the creator that brought Bumshell in wasn't going to say anything, and then
Mm,
another creator was like, "No, fuck you, bitch, you gonna say something," and so she was and so then that way, then that I was like. No. If you're not going to take care of your subs and your members, I ain't messing with you no more. So I just left,
yeah.
and I left quietly, but I could not speak out because I didn't want to be doxxed. I didn't want my family doxxed. I didn't want my real life, But now other people are speaking out, and you kind of get a little a
Yeah.
little bit more brave, you know. But
Yeah.
she has my info. Yeah, she sure does,
Look,
you know.
and
But if
that's,
she fucks with
you shouldn't
me,
even have to
I
be
mean, I'll
scared
just
of
meet
that.
somebody at the door looking through a scope. I ain't got no problem with that.
What the
Me and
problem is,
Maureen.
you shouldn't have to be scared of that,
But
Rowena.
that's
I
what.
understand you are, and I would be too. I am too. You know what I'm saying? I know people's got my private information.
Yep.
Um, but it, just think about it. You're scared of real
Telling
life
the truth,
because of your YouTube life. That's not okay.
right?
It's not.
I know, but
Weird as
manipulation.
fuck.
Emotional manipulation is huge in this community, and that's why we have so many scammers and grifters here, because these cases, we do care for the families. We're not the piece of shit community, you know what I mean? Like, we're
Right.
not the doxing community, or the, you know what I mean? Like, there's crap communities out there,
Can I ask a
you
question?
know. We're not stabbing people in the necks with, knitting needles and stuff like that. I mean,
Right.
we do care, and that's what they go for,
Can I ask a
and
question?
that's why there's so many here,
Yeah, B Tim. Go ahead.
in my opinion.
Okay, so what is the issue with like deeds? Like, what was the? Because I missed a little bit of your live and it just jumped up to
It's
basically get
it's
what
just
about?
it's hard for me to explain because I can't put my thoughts into words sometimes. It was, I just heard somebody complaining about Dietz's live and said, like, who are you to tell any creator what they should do with their money? And it's like, so is that what you got from that live? Is that what you walked away with? Because if so, there's your problem.
I mean, I think like the issue is, I mean, now I got a little bit better idea. I think the issue is that like if you collect money based on falsehood is the problem. If you collect money based on like being truth and like transparent and say, hey, I'm using this money for so and so. Like even if you say, hey guys, I'm going to buy a lawnmower, guys, give me money for a lawnmower, and then people know, okay, here's money for the lawnmower and use it for the lawnmower. I think that's fine. As long as it's like asked. Now, could it be like e-begging? Yeah, it's e-begging. It's like a lesser degree, but I think the truth and transparency is important. I also think like when it comes to calling out like grifting, like let's say things like people who are misappropriating funds that they should not be doing. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to go into every community and call them out. I'm not uni. I'm not going to be like fraud raiser and jump and have like a bandana over my head and have a whiteboard and everything. I'm just going to basically stick to the areas of expertise I kind of have, which is like the true crime, a little bit of the true crime area. I'm not going to jump from community to community and call people out because it's like, I'm going to have a lot of research in that, because when you accuse someone of misappropriating funds or scamming, you can result in fucking up and kind of defaming that person, or kind of just, stepping in a situation you're unfamiliar with. So I think like it's best to just stick to your areas of expertise and just like let other people call out things and don't try to be the internet police. You know what I mean? Like if it's
Yeah,
like,
I agree. And I think that's what Dietz agreed with too. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I meant. Like, how could anybody walk away from that live thinking that Dietz was trying to tell people what to do with their money? Like,
No.
where do you get that? That's not, I
No.
didn't read that at all. She
Can I jump in, Joneson?
absolutely, go ahead. This is just
Like I said
Samantha.
in chat, I thought that I thought her doing these lives is really informative. And if I was a channel creator, I would watch those and I would take in what the subs are saying, because the subs are your audience. Those are the people. So you're going to learn from that what they like and what they don't like, and then use that for how you go about your channel. Like I thought it was like a learning experience.
Yeah, I
Right. I
thought
mean,
she
I
did the
didn't
creators a
hear.
I thought she did
Go
the
ahead.
creators a big justice by doing that. I mean,
I
it
thought so
definitely
too.
opened
I
up.
thought it,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
took something away from all of those lives, and she's got more coming up, but those few that she's already done, I took something away from. And if you're not taking something away from those lives, then you may be the problem.
I mean, I
yeah, I
didn't
kind
hear
of took it.
anyone say how a creator should spend their money, or they had an issue with how they spend their money. Not at
Right.
all. the money that I send in super chats or whatever, that is yours to do whatever you want. But if you tell me, oh, I'm taking donations now for a specific issue and I donate, that's where I expect that money to go. Okay.
Right.
And if it doesn't, shame on me.
Right.
And then if
Shame.
you ask for a
I mean,
receipt, you're going to be doxxed.
I mean
And
that's
your
the thing.
life is going to be, you're going to have 200 people coming after you.
I mean, I
It
think
happens.
that's the main reason a lot of people get annoyed with like Dolly or other creators who are in true crime sphere that state, "Hey, I'm going to use it. I need the money for a camera. I need money for
Mm-hmm.
this to help." Because instead of saying I need the money for the camera because I want the camera,
Because I want it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
then the problem becomes I'm using it to save the children or I'm using it to find
That's
missing kids.
where the
And
issue lies.
if Dolly just said, "Hey guys, I just want a fucking camera because I just want it," and his fans bought it, what am I going to criticize? I mean, it's e-begging. Yeah, I could say, yeah, it's e-begging, but welcome to like the internet. A lot of fucking channels are e-begging. If I had to call out every e-begging channel on the internet, I wouldn't have a job. I wouldn't be sleeping. I wouldn't have nothing else to do but calling out e-begging things. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's like a misdemeanor on the internet. Like literally, like
Yeah.
everyone does it in a certain point, to a little bit of a degree. But when you're honest and upfront, and you say, "Hey, I'm using this money for that." For instance, I'll give you an example. Savage said, "Oh, I'm going to Las Vegas. Can you guys give me money for Las Vegas?" Honest. It was honest. She said, "Yeah, I want the money to go to this to go to Las Vegas or whatnot. Here's my Cash App or whatever. You can donate if you want. If you don't." And it was very transparent. It was honest, and it was as simple as that. That's to
Yeah.
me is perfectly fine. But when someone says, "Oh, I'm going to," let's just say, like someone says, "I'm going to the state to find this missing person," and they spend like 10 minutes walking around the woods and filming, and then they basically you don't know what the fuck else they did. Then
It's
you're kind
just
of
they're blowing smoke up your ass. That's what
yeah.
they're doing.
I mean, if
That's what
like
they're doing.
yeah, and I think like if people were just honest with their shit, that people would not be able to call them out. But yeah, but when it comes to calling out like grifting, like that's why I don't really talk about Bombshell because I don't know nothing about that lady, and I don't really want to really look into her because she doesn't
You
really
don't.
cover. Yeah, she doesn't really cover true crime. I don't think she covers true crime. I don't think she really.
But she was brought into the community by another channel that does. And that's the only reason, like, I trusted one. It's like if Queen, brought in and was like, "Hey, man, this person's a good person, da 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 da." I mean,
Wait. Let me just make a quick correction before it gets out of control. Remy says, "Ask for money for Vegas," as B Tim said, it was e-begging. No, I'm not saying that's like particularly e-begging. E-begging is like, let me define e-begging because I don't want to get Jones in trouble with multiple things, probably clip channels, everything. E-begging is basically like, let's say I come on and I constantly beg for money. Like I jump on and I'm like, I start the live and it says, "Hey guys, can I have money, please? Can I have money, please? Can I have money, please?" Just putting out your cash up and say, "Hey, I'm going to Vegas," is not e-begging. It's basically you just put it out there and people said they can just donate if they want and whatever. But if you're like constantly on there and it's just begging for money, like on the entire stream, like let's say Dark Side Phil, who just constantly e-begs to the point where you can watch like whole lives where he's e-begged like 55 times to 100 times, that's e-begging. But if you just like do it once and you're done or twice, you're done, that's not e-begging. I'm just saying that
Well,
much.
I think
Super
I think
chat, or else I'm
Rowena.
ending. That kind of
Yeah,
shit.
I think
Super
Rowena
chat.
is more talking about like scammers who aren't necessarily using victims, but they're creating victims by scamming their communities.
correct. And
I
I
think is
think
what
e-begging, grifting, and scamming are three different things. I
they
think those
are.
are three different things. And what I'm talking about was my personal experience on a 100% scam.
Rowena, does
And
that bother you? Can I ask? Like, are you worried? So if you got scammed, then do you feel you have the receipts where you
oh, I
like go
have
back
every
and forth
receipt.
with? But it's like your responsibility that you don't want that to happen to somebody else, I'm sure.
I do. And I've had a really hard time. This wasn't a month ago. This was a long time ago. And uh, a lot of people have been very vocal, and I think they are so strong. And like I said, up until 2 days, yes, people knew behind the scenes. Yes, they had my receipts. Yes, I asked for my name not to be put out there because I don't want real life to come on me. And I did feel guilty for not saying anything. I do not want anybody hurt by this person. I don't. And I wish I would have been stronger. I mean, that's on me.
Well, you're being
That
strong now, so that counts,
well,
girl.
but you know, everybody has a real life, and everybody's real life is just as important to them. You know what I mean? It's just that's a fear, and like when you don't, sometimes when you don't have a channel and you don't, you're scared to say stuff in a chat or anywhere because you just don't. We just don't know, the ramifications of what'll happen. So that's the only reason why I hopped up. That
Yeah,
now,
because you
now
personally went through
now
this.
I but I really did, and it hurts because I do give from my heart. It was not alone, so it's not like, so it is kind of a different yes, she can do anything. Like when I give, I don't expect it back, and I don't care what you do with it. But in the same respect, when I give, I don't expect to be lied to. And then I don't expect multiple other persons to be lied to. And
Right.
and
Mhm.
when it all came out, it was hours of receipts. And this was not just a little bitty thing. And so, now other people are standing up and they're calling things out, and her feet are being, nailed to the floor. And yeah, but a lot of times I do stay in the bushes, and I not on her channel. I don't, I can't. But I
I
do
hate that you
go
have
to
to
another
even
channel.
fear that.
But there is emotional manipulation. When you hear somebody, I've got to move, and this is what's happened in my life, and that's what's happened in my life, and this and that, and you're actually seeing someone in distress, and it's coming down to the 23rd hour, and they have told you what you thought they've done for themselves, but it's all a lie. Then on that 23rd hour, I'm not going to say show me every receipt that you've ever, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's on me, but it made me stronger. I'm not, uh you know I, I just I don't want it. I don't want anybody to think that it was a loan and it wasn't paid back like the multiple other people were told. Down to all I have is $20 left for my paycheck, and getting a text back and saying that'll be fine to another
Can I ask,
person.
do you think that this person was your friend and it started
No,
as like
no,
you would
no,
talk
no,
offline and
no,
behind the
no. I
scenes?
wasn't even in Discord with her. Well, I mean, I guess she was in the creator that brought her in Discord, but no, it wasn't like that. No, I mean, I was in the chat. I supported her. I really wanted, I wanted her to do, I don't want anybody to hurt. I don't want anybody to, if I can help somebody make that day a little bit better, then yeah. I just didn't know that my money, and multiple other people's money probably, uh, went to other things that, is very sad to me, and not legal things. So, yeah. But it's just the manipulation is real. It is, and
It
and
is. Yeah,
and
everywhere.
and when you've and I brought, I have a friend that had issues and needed help, and been my friend for 55 years, and went to kindergarten together, and I brought her experience into it, and wanted, was like, hey, everybody needs a hand up sometime. I'm not talking about this didn't go on for months and months and months and months and months. No, 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 no. But multiple, and you can just you can be, you can be manipulated, and that's
Manipulate.
why
Yeah.
when I leave, every single time I leave a chat, the last thing I write is everyone be safe on these YouTube streets.
Yeah.
And
YouTube's more dangerous than real life.
I agree.
do what?
YouTube is more
Oh,
dangerous
I
than
thought
real
you
life.
said you do. I was like, what do I do?
Did you
No,
just say YouTube
YouTube.
is more dangerous than real life?
Yes.
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 Aw, depends where you
Oh,
live, ma'am.
no, boo boo. Mm-mm.
For
I,
Nah.
I'm
If you,
watching a
I'm
timeout.
saying like
I'm
if you
pulling
live in
somebody out, and I'll do it
Africa or you
tomorrow.
live in Colombia, or and you can go out and get
No,
shot.
fool. I'm talking
Mm-mm.
about
I'm just
our real lives, my
well,
real
your real
life.
life. Yeah, I was about to say like that might be a little bit too much of a blanketed statement because some people.
Well,
That
Yeah,
makes me
my
sad
real
though.
life.
Right?
Rowena,
Like
I'm
I
YouTube,
can
my
sorry
go
that
YouTube
happened.
life.
shopping and running errands all day and not be verbally abused. Okay. Because you
Right?
come on YouTube for 10 minutes and
yep,
somebody's got it out for you.
yep.
Yep. Oh my God, it's
Amen, girl.
insane.
Preach it.
So
What was
what
you talking about, Blunt B, when you said, wow, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
Oh, just what she was saying. What happened? That's crazy.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were responding to something in the chat. Somebody in here was tripping about Rabbit. Y'all leave our Rabbit alone.
but
I
what
like
do you
rabbit.
think about what happened with Rowena, and if it's a creator who does this consistently over and over, people bring their receipts. Now, is that a time when channel creators they should, bring attention to it
Oh,
to
they're
protect
standing on her
future
neck.
subs?
There's
Oh, yeah,
multiple
there's
channels
plenty of
standing on
people
her neck right
standing.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not used
they're
to neck.
going. They're she's getting exposed. And what do scammers do when they get exposed? They go in a corner and they fight back with their claws. So
Well,
that's
yeah,
why.
except for the person that I was supporting for a while. The biggest one out here,
Oh
probably.
yeah, yeah.
um, mm,
But I'm gonna
but
hop down because I'm about to tear up.
I'm
uh,
glad you found your voice.
no,
oh,
I'm not sad. I'm just, it just, I feel like such a fool. And you did, and that's another thing. After it happens to you, you feel like such a fool. You're like, I
Oh,
am
yeah.
never telling anybody that. So then
mhm.
you turn whatever anger you have, then you turn it kind of on yourself. It's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it
You
is
know,
a vicious cycle and it's not healthy. And
it's
so
not. It's not.
it's worth spreading awareness so that people know what to look for or
Yeah,
what to pay attention to.
yeah.
But once it's out there, I mean, that was the question I had earlier. Once you put videos out and you have spent a lengthy amount of time proving that this person is a liar, this person is a scammer, when does it come to a point where you don't keep on because nothing's
I
changing?
think you put it out, and then when you get more information, you put that out, and then channels do great jobs of clipping their own words. And so then as they dig their heels deeper, then, expose that.
Yeah,
The
because I
lies
don't
that they're
think,
telling, then expose that. You don't have to
yeah,
go back years, but,
there's
one
always
thing,
new people coming in,
yeah, and
and that is what I
exactly,
worry about.
yeah,
That's what I
because
is
none,
that they're not going to know any
yeah,
different, and that's what these people want
Right.
is
They
the
count on that.
fresh blood.
and another thing is you have a channel that's calling out somebody else's, mess. That
Mhm.
channel watches when that channel is going to go live, and they fire up live because they don't want their people to go over there and hear anything. I see that all the time. On it doesn't even have to be money issues. It can just be actions. And it's like, boom, that person's fired because they don't want their people to actually see the truth. You know, um
Yeah.
but
And they'll do what they can to stop that. Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And I
That's where
didn't
real
know
life
about her
comes in.
history. I didn't know about her history. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know she wasn't being exposed that I knew
Well,
of
and
like
and
that.
like Rowena, same with me, and like not with the same person, but and I didn't get scammed like that. So, but I've sat back and watched it, and like B Tim, to what you were saying, I don't know how long you've been in the true crime community or not, but I came in about 3 years ago, and the thing to do, it seems to me back then, was a lot of the true crime creators separated channels. They had two separate channels, and one was to cover their true crime, and one was to do their drama and all that. And however, they would advertise in their true crime, and so they brought a lot of the same subs over to their drama, and that is where they would start their
they're scamming. And when I say scamming, I don't mean, because I'm with you. If somebody wants to put it out there that they want a lawnmower, then
Yeah.
raise the money if you can. That's fine. But I'm talking like true scamming, emotional manipulation type stuff. So
Yeah.
what would happen is you would get caught up in what you thought was a good true crime creator, and then you'd be like, oh, they have a fun, they would advertise it as kind of like a fun channel or whatever, and you would go over here, and then it would be like after a while you just don't feel so good about yourself anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, is B Tim gone? But I don't know, Rowena, am I? Because you've been around
Yeah. No, I
as
get
long.
it. You know,
They would separate their channels, which was
right,
weird. Hmm.
right. It's very weird, you know.
Cappy would know that too. Cappy, did you? I just want to make sure I'm accurate on that.
What's up?
How true crime creators, a lot of them used to separate their channel or have two separate channels. One where they would do their true crime, and then one where they would do their drama stuff, and they would bring subs from one to the other, and their drama stream, and I'm talking about one in particular, but is where they would do a lot more of the scamming and grifting and emotional manipulation, but it would
Right,
be
like,
kind of on a second channel.
well, having the second channel kind of comes from two places. Like, either people would try to separate drama from like case discussion and true crime or whatever,
Hmm.
or to ban evade, or like, because they get strikes, and then back in the day you could go to another channel and you wouldn't get in trouble for that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
um,
Right.
even though it was probably against TOS back then, everybody did it and nobody got in trouble. But it um yeah, I kind of remember, like, because like people would get the second channel to kind of misbehave on,
Hmm.
whatever their idea of
Exactly.
misbehaving was, whether it be like cussing more, or
Hmm.
dragging somebody, or maybe for some like e-bagging and stuff. But I wanted to say something real quick. Okay, like, Joneson allows like open opinions and like everything like that in the chat. There's somebody in the chat right now that clearly has an axe to grind with Rabbit. Okay. Now, you've stated it over and over and again, and then when you go to call her a scammer is when I'm going to wrench you. Like, you're not doing that. That's not okay. You can
Mm-mm.
have your opinions about her, but you don't need to keep talking about what a piece of shit she is because she has a fucking Amazon wish list. Like, almost all creators have their PayPal, their Cash App links. Some have wish lists, some don't. I don't understand where she's any different from anybody, especially some of the other creators that do much worse out here, okay? But like, I just wanted to tell you that because I couldn't type it all, and just please don't do that. You can have opinions, but I don't understand. This isn't a live stream to just talk about Rabbit. You know,
Yeah.
like, it's not real cool. Especially since we're all like cool with her too. We get it. We don't all have to like the same people,
Yeah. No, I
but
love
but
her. She does great work. She does great
yeah,
work.
I've never ever saw her as a dry e-bagger or
No.
anything like that.
And people that put in the time like that and the research, hell, make
Yes.
money. Make
She
money.
reports with a lot of passion. Now, this same person is talking about how wonderful Ryan Upchurch is. So I don't
Oh
know.
God.
Like,
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well, all right.
okay,
Enough
Point
said.
taken.
That explained it.
Yep. 100. Got it.
yeah, she goes live to just make fun of Ryan Upchurch, and she does it to beg for money.
Yeah. That's no good. That's not.
And I
And
think
see that
creators should make money. I
I
think
do too.
you're
It's
you're you're
work.
dedicating your time on a free app. Okay. They it's not like when you make a channel, they say, well, here's your sign on bonus and you're gonna get insurance, you're gonna get this much an hour. No. Then they have to pay for, StreamYard, um, uh, and their internet service. their time and their work that they put in. I don't care if it's work on jokes. I don't care if it's work on filming sea turtles. I don't care if it's work on calling out people. It's work. It's work and it's time that they've put back. So no, I think that creators should make money. I think and I think, if you want to send them a super chat, that's great. The problem that I have is the lying. And that is 100% across the board with me. If you are a liar, I, I don't know if I was lied to as a kid or what, but you can think anything about me and I'm good. I promise I lay my head down at night and I sleep just fine. But the lying, uh the everything that was going on behind the scenes and all she was lying to people. That's what she was doing, and nobody knew it until something came out and then it all broke loose. And that's what usually happens. So that's where I have a problem with it. If somebody sits there and says, hey, I really want to go see my kid in Dallas, but I just can't afford it right now. And look, if I believe in you and I have the money and I feel like I want to donate, then I'll donate. But I'm not going to. I don't think that's a bad thing. What I think's a bad thing is when you sit there and, like B. Tim said,
When
I'm
you're
gonna
lying
go
to get
search
it.
for a kid, or I'm gonna go, help pass out flyers, and then you don't. Then
Or there's
that's where I
there's
have the problem with.
also, yeah, there's also a creator out there that doesn't do that, but you know, she'll even start e-begging for what I know to be imaginary people that need help her in her community. And that runs all over me. Like that
Wow.
makes me so mad.
You need to go and put her
And
name out there. I had to say
well,
Bombshell's name. Go on, say it, girl.
Natasha Cooper.
There you
I
go.
think we all know
Yeah,
that.
I know it.
But so her latest has just been just recently, where she's got all these people in her community. Of course, nobody knows who they are. And I don't support her, haven't for a long time, but I've just watched because of I do want to. There's a lot of people out there exposing her, but it just doesn't seem to stop. But her latest is collecting money through her personal PayPal to buy people that need help in her community their school supplies for their children.
Mm.
Now, that money should not have to pass through her first. And that's what I want to make people aware of. If something like that, if anything, there could be emails or something where it's not put on a live stream of everybody that can't afford it or whatever. If you really want to do that, it can be done in somewhat of a private way, and the money shouldn't have to pass through her, period.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my opinion on that. But it's just, I mean, she's still doing it. That was just, last week.
Is there no shame on YouTube? Like, where do
No,
you
there's
draw the
not.
line? Like, if I'm gonna be up here saying, can you help me pay my electric bill? Like, I need to go get a real job and not be on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube if I can't pay my electric bill. Or even how you mentioned you would donate to if you want to go see your kid. Like, I don't think that should be a sub's responsibility. Like, if you want to
But
go see
things
your
come
kid,
up.
that's your son, that's your responsibility. Don't put that on somebody in your chat like you who's so kind and thinks, oh, I want to help them.
But
Is there not a
but
line?
things. But the way I look at it is was that like my example would be like, if something came up and they wanted to go see their son, like they needed to go see their son, it was an expected thing, it wasn't planned out for months, they couldn't have saved up, whatever. I'm talking about those extenuating circumstances. That's what I'm talking about. Or if you're like, hey, fuck it, I just need, a perfect example, I want this camera. Groovy. I mean, yes, should that person maybe go get another job or whatever? But But everybody's different. But if people want to donate to that, that's fine. But don't use false pretenses to do it. Don't pull on people's emotions that you're going to do something for someone else and you're going to bring me in to feel like I'm a part of it, that I helped whatever this camera is going to do.
And
That's where I have a problem with it.
I think that circles back kind of to what Packless was saying at the beginning of the live when he said it really just all comes down to lying.
Yeah, it does.
That was the general feel of it. And I didn't want to interrupt. You guys were sharing some really awesome
Hey,
stuff, so I
baby.
didn't want to interrupt at all. But and I understand.
Interrupt.
I listened to the whole live that you got going here, Jones, and there are people that don't understand what my lives have been about, and I get that. Maybe I need to do a better job explaining them. The reason that it's just me reading the questions and doing the polls, and I don't like drop down a link and do a panel afterwards, is because I have a couple more in mind that I want to go through and then like compile the data, I guess, so
Yeah.
to speak, but
Yeah.
compile the opinions and then have some discussions on it. But I do see that, this isn't the first one. There's been a couple other creators who have already been able to take it and have really interesting conversations with as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's just, for me, it's the general pulse of the community. And like you said, like Packless said, just don't lie. That was the biggest thing, is like,
Yeah.
just be honest.
Mhm.
Like, that's how I am. I don't care
Yeah.
what people, if I would never call out like a sad fisher or a dry bagger or whatever, because if they're being honest about what they're asking for their money for, then their subs are donating to it under the correct pretenses, like if they're saying, oh, I need to pay my electric bill and I need help on it. Well, I would never donate to that, but
Right.
at
Right.
least that creator's being honest about it, right?
Yep.
And
But
that's what I said. Your whole like your overall take seemed like as long as you're doing it honestly, you don't care.
I don't, but I do know that there are people who do, and that's what's so interesting, is that there are people who eat, like, I think the poll was even like, even if they're being honest, they're against it. And it's so mind-boggling to see some of the comments and some of the poll stats, because as a whole, we're kind of doing the opposite of what we're saying on some things. And I find that, like, okay, so on my mod live to my creator live, I asked the exact same question on my mod live that I asked later on the creator one, got a completely different response and a completely different
It was
set
opposite.
of comments. It was so crazy. And that's the thing, is everybody looks at things differently, and that's
Deets,
okay.
was your mod live, were those mods, did the majority of them have a channel, or were they just straight subs?
What do you mean? The people commenting in the chat?
When you had the poll with your mods, was
No, I
the
didn't have a
majority of
poll.
them?
I didn't have a poll with my mods. I called it the mod live because it was a live talking about mods and about like
okay.
expectations
And I
of
learned
mods. Yeah.
I learned a lot from it. So
Yeah,
that's what that was
quite
the
a
whole
bit.
gist. Yeah.
So when I say a mod live and a creator live, it was a live talking about mod expectations, and then there was a live talking about creator expectations. And then later I heard someone, talking about one of my lives, and one of the things that got brought up was money, and I was like, oh, well, that's another important. And this all started from Laura on my panel saying, about the mod handbook, and it just got me thinking, like, there are I don't know who was up here earlier talking about like the old school set of rules and things like that. That's not how it was said, but basically that's what you guys are talking about. And there is a different trend happening to where, some people are like, well, that happened back then, but this is how it is now. And that's true. So I'm just kind of getting the pulse of the community now, like
Yeah,
where
and
we are now.
yeah,
But the
and
community's
that was the whole
changed.
point. Yeah, I didn't
Mhm.
understand why anybody would have a problem with it. If you got a problem with that, then it seems like it's a you problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A personal
Yeah.
problem.
It
I
was
think a lot of
wonderful.
people have issues with things regardless because of a lack of understanding. That's the most of the time
Yeah,
people just have an issue because they don't understand something.
I
And
I
that's
thought
agree.
it
fine.
was so
I agree.
interesting. It was like informative of, what the
Mm-hmm.
community thinks and what they like and what they don't. And if I had my own channel, like I would use that stuff to my benefit. For example, when you had do people like the PayPal banner streamed across the bottom? If I'm correct, it was overall a no.
Yeah,
So if
they
I
hate
was
it.
a channel holder and I was doing that and I seen that 80% of the subs don't like it, then I would take that and I'd say, okay,
Right.
well, I'll remove that. Let me do better because my
Yeah.
subs, they don't like it.
And
I
see,
would.
that's something I would have never had an issue with. Like, I don't have a
I
problem
wouldn't
with
have
people
either.
I don't have
scrolling
an
their
issue with it
PayPal
either, but
banners.
that's just me.
No,
I'm
Right.
just
and I
saying.
look at it. I look at it as like too with that. I have to look at the fact that yes, when I do send a super chat in support of somebody, they aren't getting all of that money.
Right.
Whereas I could really be, giving to them what I feel because when I watch somebody, the reason I become a member or the reason I send them a donation or PayPal or super chat is because I appreciate them and the work
I
they're
was
doing.
about to say that.
Yep.
It's because
Mhm.
you appreciate
It
them.
Yep.
is
Yeah.
exactly. So
But some
I
people,
don't necessarily want YouTube to get any of that either,
And I don't
right.
want them to have to
So,
wait a month to get it either. You know what I
mhm.
mean?
Well,
Like,
Right.
yeah, sometimes longer, but
yeah.
I
Mhm.
I agree with you on that, and that's why I was a little baffled that some people like took something as my opinion because honestly, the way most of those polls went weren't my opinion at all. Like that's not how I would have
That's
looked
what
at
I
the
was
situation or
saying.
They
thought of
were
something.
questions from the
But
chat.
yeah, that's how the chat as a whole, most of the times,
Right.
250 people thought, not Deeds. So
Right.
God
I,
forbid you should have a conversation that makes people think. I mean,
yeah, you don't need
Yeah.
that around here, right?
No. I'm going to
I
hop
gotta
down.
jump down, guys. Thanks
Thank
for
you so
letting me up
much.
there.
I want to make
Okay.
Thanks
sure
for coming
everybody
up,
gets a
guys.
chance to come up.
Bye,
And
guys.
bye. Y'all have a great
Bye.
day. Thanks,
Bye.
Deeks.
Bye,
Thanks,
y'all.
Jonathan. Thanks,
have a good
everybody.
day.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Rowena.
Bye.
Bye.
I was
Um.
listening to her tell her story, and I was around during that time as a sub, and it breaks my heart. I didn't know she was scammed by her during that phase
Oh.
too. Yeah,
Oh
because
God.
that's when
Hot
she
Mm.
dog.
was covering Summer
Look.
Wells
Look. D.
content. That creator was.
Look at
What?
that comment. Hot dog. Why is
Why
this
is it
anyone?
in?
Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. No one's telling anyone who to support financially at all, and no one is trying to give any guidance.
Is
And if
again?
that
Is
is
that what
what
you're
you are
getting?
taking away, it's a lack of understanding. What I'm trying to do, and I can't speak for what other creators will do with it, but from what I am trying to do is get an idea of how people truly think and feel on the situation.
Yeah.
You can explain it 10 times. You can't make people understand it.
Yeah.
No, that's so
Deets.
sad
I missed the
though.
live. Like I missed the live, but I saw some of Laura's live on it, and I was like, okay, so this is probably the opposite of what Deets is trying to say.
Well,
I'm
I
so
think
glad you
I
I
Considered
saw
that.
that too, and I knew that's probably where this may be coming from.
I was like,
well,
It is.
we
Yeah.
pretty much live in upside down world when it comes to Laura
Right.
sometimes. So I'll just
Uh-huh.
reverse
well,
it, and
I
then
don't
I'll go
know
from
if,
there.
and that's why, maybe she just heard a tiny portion of it and thought, oh my gosh, she's telling people to do this or to do that. No, no, not
Maybe
at
her
all, y'all.
patrons
Not
guided her in
at
that direction.
all. I
But
don't
remember,
Her
know,
she
but
doesn't
patrons.
listen. She just
Her
sees
patrons.
clips.
Right,
and
right, right.
I think it'll be really interesting though when I do get to the point where we have open panels because I have one more idea, and if anybody else has any other ideas, I'm open to doing lives on those as well. But I have one more idea right now, and then do like some open panel discussions like this because one, there are people who just didn't get it, which is it confuses me that people didn't get it, but whatever.
And it's
And
obvious
but
because it's here now,
right,
It's
but
like,
people also they have opinions on it too. Like, and I love that Rowena was able to like hop up and share her story, and Samantha as well, like able to explain why they feel the way they do because uh, Samantha on one of her feelings is completely opposite of what the majority stated, but her reasonings behind it make complete sense because of a past situation that happened with her. So it's just interesting. To me, it's
It is
all just
interesting.
interesting.
And to me, it's like, how are you even okay? How are you so I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How is she so offended?
I'm dead. I'm
I've been
fucking
good
dead.
today. I've been good today. I've been not bringing anybody up
You've been really
specifically.
good.
How can you be so offended when Deets and a lot of the people, I mean, it was split, but okay, she owns up to the fact that she lives off her YouTube income. And she has always been very honest about that. So if you have always been very honest about that, why are you upset about the discussion?
Well, and maybe she is upset because this is what baffles me. So I did talk about this a little bit in my life that, some people do make this a
What
living.
up,
This is their
Morgan?
living. This is their only stream of income. And they're out there hustling, putting in the time and the work to do their hustle. And there's no shade towards those people who are putting in what they need to do to, make an income from their community that they have built. None whatsoever. But the vast majority view that as wrong, and that's baffling to me as to why they would even view that as wrong. If they're being honest, they're being upfront, they're being legit, why is it so wrong? What have we done
Right.
as a group to make others feel like that's wrong when it's the honest thing to do? So that's what I'm taking away from some of it, but I guess
Really
others are
makes you
taking something
wonder
different
who
from it.
really makes you wonder who those people are when no one's looking, right? I mean,
Yeah, because
Sorry,
to
I'm
me,
not
what
looking
you
at
feeling guilty about?
Adam.
at,
We're having
at that point, to me, it just seems like you're just creating something to be bitchy about, to be pissed off about. There's nothing to be pissed off about. There's no point. And I
what?
mean, she did clarify that it wasn't an attack to you, but then
Yeah,
she
yeah.
continued to attack you. So I felt like,
Well, I don't
why?
know if she's just attacking the information, maybe. But sorry, I'm not looking at chat. We're getting ready. We're having
I
Marshall's
know
birthday party this
daddies, up
afternoon.
church's daddies are in the chat.
Up church's dad. Oh man! And see, last night I got home. My husband and I were out really late, and we got home at like 12:30. And I went and watched. I think I watched her live, and then I watched Kurt's. I went in and chatted with Kurt for a long time, and a bunch of Creek squatters over there. And it's so different when they chat with you one on one than the ones that come in and troll you because they think they know how you feel about a person, meaning Ryan, and they have no clue. So I just find it interesting that they
Well,
would
how do
come in
you
and chit
feel?
chat
How
about
do
Ryan.
you feel?
I don't have any issue with Ryan. I don't like what he did to the case. I don't like what he said about
I
Kylie.
agree.
I
I agree.
disagree. I disagree completely about what he's done. And that was one of the things that, I was able to talk with Kurt about last night. Like, when did disagreeing turn into hate? When did that
Right.
happen? I missed it somewhere. But
That's what
somewhere,
we were
as
talking about earlier,
adults,
the blurred line.
yeah, as adults, we stopped being able to have conversations, disagreements, healthy debates, and it turned into if you disagree with someone, now you hate them. Like, what? I don't hate
Did you
anyone.
have Kurt on panel? I missed it.
No, I didn't have him on panel. I was in his chat last night. He did a live
Oh,
last night,
okay.
and I was just chit chatting with him over there because he was like the only person live at 2 in the morning.
Oh, damn. I wish I wouldn't have missed that. What
So
was his response to that?
he agreed. He doesn't understand it either. He said, basically like,
But
yeah,
the
why
thing
can't
is,
we have disagreements?
he'll be right there, like agreeing with people that say that when it comes to Ryan. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
like there's no happy medium with him. Like I'll see him be like thinking and talking very logical, and then like when
Mm-hmm.
Ryan's around, or not even if Ryan's necessarily around,
Well,
if the
okay.
group's talking about him in a certain way of where they feel like he's a
Yeah.
victim or something like that, which is usually
Okay.
in my opinion. But you know what I mean? Like for example, like when the Kylie Rodney case was, the fire cam footage came out and not that many people were talking about it except for that, small community of people that just don't believe
Mm-hmm.
it's an accident.
Yeah.
He was like basically like after the autopsy report and all that stuff was like, yeah, like speaking logical, like, hey guys, like this just kind of seems like it might be an accident. I mean, I don't know if he said those exact words, but he was definitely
Yeah.
opening. He was definitely opened up to that it was an accident,
He
right?
did.
Well,
I
And
he
agree. I
took a
remember
he
that.
took a while,
Ryan
but
was
yeah,
nowhere around, right? And
he was at
he got
first, yeah.
backlash. He got
did.
backlash, right? And
Yeah.
then out of the blue, Ryan, a month after the fire cam footage comes out, decides he wants to talk about it again. And
hmm
then he goes right back to it. Like basically walk back everything he said. It was just like,
Well,
what?
and so I guess I do have to, go back a minute, but he did say, yeah, people should be allowed to agree to disagree and all that and have civil conversation. But then he's also like, but Ryan's my boy, and I'm gonna go to bat for him anytime, no matter what. And so I get that too, because there are people I see out here on the streets doing the same thing for their favorite creators. Like,
Right.
no matter what, they're gonna go to bat for him. And that's what's so interesting about some of these lives is because one of the last questions I asked, was uh, if I did something that was like if I was dry baking, because they were totally against dry baking and grifting. If I came on me and did something that was dry baking and grifting, would you be mad about it? Or if I did Turtle Island, that's what it was. If I did Turtle Island, would you feel the
Jesus.
same about it as the way you do
And
Dolly
I
does
said
it?
no. I said
Yeah,
no. I
but
wouldn't feel the same.
the majority did say they would feel the same, but that didn't reflect what the comments in the chat were. So that's what I find so fascinating about this is that we have
That's
so
people
many
not
different
chatting.
viewpoints. Yeah.
That's people that
But
aren't chatting. Can we go over Eugene government audits?
Wait,
Real
that's
quick.
people who answered the question without really thinking about it, Deeds. Okay.
Probably. Probably.
Okay.
Or they thought about it, answered one way, and then by you asking that, they would be hypocritical if they answered the other
Yeah.
way.
it's like
Eugene
what
says,
it's one thing to have your homies back and another thing to change your whole outlook with a snap of fingers. Like
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I agree with you.
you know
I
what I
agree with
mean?
you. But
Okay.
I didn't say I agree with Kurt's argument. I just say
Right.
I understand it.
No, and I
I do
understand it and I
understand
get
it.
what you're
Yeah.
saying. Like, yes, like we're there for our girls. Like we're like, yeah, like
hmm
I totally get what you're saying. But I
Like
feel like
earlier when
there
that person was in here trolling Rabbit, if they would have been in here trolling Dolly or Molly, would you have felt the same?
right.
See?
Right. And you know what? And you know what? We were fine with them expressing their opinions about like I feel like Rabbit does this wrong and this wrong. But then when they straight up said, yeah, anytime you want to do a live, I'll jump up to call out her scamming. And I'm like, no, what
hmm
you're not going to do is make outright accusations. Opinions
Exactly.
are fine, but like outright accusations, you obviously have an axe to grind. And then this person was like confused why people were disagreeing and said people were going at her. Well, you came in here confrontational. Like, I
hmm
don't
yeah,
know
they
what you
did.
expected, you know?
And now y'all know which poll question I wasn't able to answer in time. Just saying.
Sorry, Joseph, we totally cut you off. What were you saying, babe?
I don't even know.
What did Eugene say? That's what it was.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
let me go over here. Says YouTube promotes leeching off subscribers. You have super chat. What are you complaining about?
What?
There's
She's running a live. Why should she not have her super chat?
Listen, my super chat is for anybody that wants to say, "Hey, Johnson, thanks for the entertainment. I didn't feel like watching Netflix today."
Right.
I
I'll be
don't
right back.
know. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. I never ask for money. I never
No, I never do either.
expect it. It's just
Oh,
kind of
shit.
like a tip. Like, hey, I appreciate you for today. Whatever. It's different than
Exactly. I mean,
scamming.
we're gonna pay to go to the movies. We're gonna pay to go out to dinner. We're gonna pay to do this and that. Well, if y'all are my entertainment for the evening, or not even just entertainment, but my education on a case or something like that, why wouldn't I? You
Yeah.
know,
I don't
I
begrudge
don't.
anybody doing their lives, running their lives. None of the people that you all are against or hate or anything like that. I don't begrudge them for having their super chats on while they're doing their lives. I find it baffling that people do.
And I hate the fact that I've seen some creators, some really good creators, are like afraid to get monetized or afraid of what that will look like. Or,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well,
I'm really sick of that stigma. Like, I'm so sick of the
yes,
Yes.
stigma of like, oh my God, you're monetized now. Like everything you're
Yeah.
doing has this certain underlying intention that's bad, Like,
It's
uh
horrible.
huh.
fuck,
It's
just
tragic what's
stop.
going on. It's like everybody has their fifis up in a, panties in a
Times
bunch
are
for
tough.
everything.
Times are tough. Okay, if you want to donate, donate. If you don't, don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's like no one's gonna be
Exactly.
mad. No one's gonna be mad if you don't donate. Like
No,
every
not at all. I don't live off YouTube money.
I
well,
did find it
literally almost everybody has a financial link. It's
I
I don't
found
think anybody does now.
a
You know what I
couple of
mean?
the things that I did find interesting, and was that, and I was going to talk about later, but let's talk about it now. That
Fuck it. Let's roll with it.
the wish
Let me-
list situation, so many people are completely against a wish list, even though a wish list makes it upfront and honest about what that creator's trying to get. But they're so against it for the creators they dislike, but they're okay with it for creators they do like. And that blows my mind. Like, what? It's still the same. It's a wish list for both
Yeah,
people.
keep
What's
the
the
Oh
issue?
snap!
wish
Oh
list.
You
snap!
know?
Rabbits in the chat. All snap!
Oh,
All
snap.
And
snap!
so,
Everybody hide their wallets because she's a scammer.
all the
Like,
Yeah.
scammers are
fucking get
lying.
out of here, dude! I swear to God. Like, I feel like Rabbit's one of the more passionate like people about their
Yeah.
coverage. Like, she's
Exactly.
definitely in my top 5 of like, credible and
Oh, she's so
passionate.
good. She puts it
And
out over and
she
over.
does. And like, it was really hard to like be objective and unbiased to that person in the chat because I'm a mod and I can't just be wiling out, but like the straight up
Okay.
accusation was my excuse to like be like, fuck you.
Well, that's another thing. That's another thing that we kind of addressed in some of the other lives there, Cappy, is that, a lot of people can sit there and say, and we do, a lot of us creators sit there and say, oh yeah, you're allowed to have an open and free and honest opinion in the chat. And then we, as a community, as a group, we jump on someone when their opinion's different, or we end up blocking them and timing them out. And it's interesting to see the dichotomy of this, how it isn't necessarily what's being said. So.
I get what you're saying too. It's like it's not across the board. It's not always the same. Like I was talking about that last night, okay, in Heels' chat, because people were, oh, the way people went after her is just so horrible. You just like it was something they'd never seen before. I'm like, the community handled it the way they handle everything. What do you mean?
Yeah.
We were all together in a group. Yeah, maybe it looks like mob mentality or mob rule, quote unquote, but it is what it is. That's what it is here. People tried to handle it in private and behind the scenes and do what they did, but things just didn't like really work out.
And that's one of the
it's
questions I
like,
have is, should it be handled that way? And I said this on several lives. When I'm pointing a finger out, asking a question, I'm very, very aware therefore pointing back at myself, and I need to self-reflect on things. But I don't think people hear that and truly take
right.
it in. That I'm not saying like, oh my gosh, you guys are all wrong and I'm right. No, it's a learning and growing experience for
No,
all
I
of
do the
us.
same thing where I'll include myself and like people don't hear that part. Like, no,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying we're a community. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it should or shouldn't be that way. It's a fact that it is that way. All I know about the heel situation, that people did try to handle things in private with her. It didn't really go over well, but like with any problem where people are shocked or feel betrayed or whatever, or mad, it came to the surface and it came to the live streams because that's what people do. Like,
Yeah, I still have people coming to me and saying, oh my gosh, you went so hard. Like, I did one stream and I asked the questions I needed to ask. I got the answers or lack of answers that I didn't necessarily need, but that she gave. I got them and I moved on. And I don't understand why.
well, that's
Why
the
would you
thing,
keep
Dee.
dragging me back into? And I even said at the
That's
end
the
of that
thing,
live,
though.
like, whatever,
Yeah,
it is what it is. I
you
wish you
were
well, nothing but the best. Like,
you were very classy with your representation in that stream. I was there.
well,
And listen, Deep, listen. It's funny. Like, you were not yelling, you were not name calling, you were very professional about it. And it's supposedly a different opinion, right? Like that's all this is a different opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're not agreeing with said different opinion, so it's a problem for them too. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
okay, so you're mad at us because we didn't agree and we're discussing it. So you're being a hypocrite.
And trying to
So
understand it, trying to see the viewpoint. Well, and part of it was trying to figure out about the the pictures she put out and stuff, just trying to understand that. And I still don't fully understand that portion, but I don't need to. It's fine. I don't need to. But
right.
just trying to listen and understand. But I also understand that it was the big platform that brought attention to it, you know, because the Jerks didn't have as many people watching it the night and a half before that ended up being there on panel. But I think that's why so many yes and no, because so many did come in hot and heavy because they had already seen that. And like I said, I was getting so many tags and emails, and it's just like, okay, let's just go together and talk about this as a community, as a group. And I think my issue is that I think we're all adults here and we can do this, and I don't know
Right.
that we can.
No, I agree.
Did Cappy disappear, or was it
Or
my headphones?
She
I don't
disappeared
know, but
from
I'm
me.
not adulting today.
You're
did I
Hi,
disappear?
Em.
breaking up. Hold
Yeah,
on,
you
hold
were
on.
good.
You're breaking up,
Hold on.
Cappy.
Hold on a second.
While we're waiting on Cappy, Grain sent a super chat. Oh, she said, "Speak your mind, love." Thank you for the super chat, Grain. Let's play George.
She's the best.
George, shake that ass, man.
I just wanted to piss off Eugene because I don't like that name.
Is that better, guys? Is that
Yes,
better?
better.
Okay.
Better.
But no, the only reason why I brought it up is because people were acting like it was specific to her, and that I'm like, no, it was that this is how the community does shit.
That's
We've
what I
done
was
this.
thinking.
We've done this a million times with, I mean, if we would have found that information on anybody else, it would have been way crazier. If anything, it was lighter because, you know, maybe we're hypocrites for that, but
It was a
you
lot
know,
easier on her than others, and that's another point. There are things that are different for the people that you like versus the people that you
it's
know
gonna
aren't
look
enjoying
different.
what they're doing. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and that's what I meant by the Turtle Island, or not the Turtle Island. Well, yeah, Turtle Island. Like if you was to do something Deets in the same way, I would take it a little differently because I would know there's some good behind it. Like there's a good point behind it. There is no
Yes.
good point to Turtle Island. It's just a grift for subs.
What
That's
you mean?
it.
Well,
Now it's getting wide.
and the point of
What do you
like how
mean?
different we are as communities was evident in that question, because there was probably like, 40 people in my chat who had never even heard of Turtle Island, but they knew about Watts Island,
They're
like
like,
what
what?
that one guy
Turtle
did over there.
Island?
Yeah, they're like, what is Turtle Island?
Are we talking about Native American history? What? Like,
Yeah.
Is that a
And they
vacation
just
spot?
yeah.
And
oh my God.
let's just be real. I mean, because it is always going to look different when your friend messes up versus your enemy. It's going
It
to
is.
look different in real life. It's going to look
Yes.
different on YouTube. And where we may pull our friend aside and say, this is a shit show, you really screwed up.
But on
And
the flip side of that, we also struggle to call out our friends when they do
Yes,
bad
we
we
do.
things
do.
as
We
well.
do.
It's
We
And we
do.
let
hard.
a lot of we let a lot of things go from
We do.
creators that we like
And that's
because
why
we
we're
like them.
hypocrites.
Do you think you should call people though? I think it should be done in private if they're your friend. That's the respect level I think you should have for a friend. But that's just
Yeah, I think so too.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it was
So if
tried
it
with
should be
heels.
done
It
in
was tried.
private, if it should be done in private for our friend, then shouldn't it be done in private for someone we think is,
Exactly.
harming a case or something?
But then there's creators like one who got an email from one of her subs who they completely handled it in private with her because they didn't agree with what this creator was saying. And then she blasted them and practically doxed them.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah,
can I jump in quick?
there's that.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I piggyback quick on what Cappy said
Yes, go ahead.
about the mob mentality? So I think that it's more of, in my opinion, the community awareness, and not all channels have to like each other. Not all channels have to agree. But when there's a bigger issue that they do agree on, and to bring attention to it, I think is a really good thing, because that shines a bigger spotlight for more subs to be aware of. And especially when it comes to like the scamming, like what happened to Rowena, maybe if that was considered like community awareness and more people did all talk about it, like things like that. I think it's a good thing when you get like more channels that don't always agree, but they agree on that one important issue and they highlight it, because then it's a community. I like that.
No, I agree with you.
You know, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I had to stay mute because my neighbor's dog is barking.
Yeah, so it's not mom mentality when it's for the right reason, community
Okay,
awareness.
but there's also this mob mentality of I just got to finish Lisa's stream that she did the other day. I totally sympathize with her because she had so many people in her comment section coming at her for having this open panel forum on her channel and allowing these people up. I get those emails every single day. I get those comments every single day.
Really?
But none, oh my God, yeah, none were as worse though as the first time I had B-Tim, Glare, and that girl up on panel, because they're like, oh my gosh, how dare you allow him up on panel? Like, what? Like, I'm not
Like,
a hypocrite.
why?
I can allow anybody up here. But and then actually, I would say the worst was after Molly was just on my panel. That one
Oh,
was bad.
really?
But yeah, and so I get where like her confusion of like, wait, I was just having an adult conversation. What's wrong with this? Because there is a mob mentality here.
Well,
There
yeah,
absolutely is.
Okay,
is,
listen,
and I
there
think
is, and anytime you get a lot of people together, that group think they can wild out and get out of control and get toxic really quick. You got to be careful. You got to you got to try to stay grounded and try to keep your focus and not get tunnel vision, because you might turn into what you're calling out. You know what I mean? Like, it's
And
definitely
the
a
hypocritical thing. I had people in my
right.
emails and in my comment section calling me out for having Molly on panel, yet those same people were over there having conversations and encouraging when Mallory was up on Queen. So what the hell's the difference?
There isn't
What's the
one.
That's
difference?
not fair to you, because that queen gets shit all the time about having, having an open panel and certain people that they don't like coming up there. But yeah, for people that were
Well,
having the discussion with Mallory and mad about Molly, that's kind of fucked up.
The queen is
well,
begged for her to take the link. You know what I'm saying? I wish you would take the link. You know what I
right.
mean? So,
Well, my
shit.
point's not her necessarily. It's the people making the comments. Like, how can you
That's
not
what I'm
see
saying.
your own hypocrisy here? You know,
Hey,
like, how can you
Elden.
not see that
Like,
you're
why is it
okay with
okay to
it from your
discuss with
favorite?
Mallory?
Yeah.
Right. Like, why is it okay to have open discussion with Mallory, but not with Molly?
Yeah.
Right.
It's so bizarre.
Make that make sense.
mhm.
And
And
I don't
Because
even.
some of
honestly.
them,
Go ahead, Gray.
us have already formed our opinions on certain creators, and we're standing firm on those
Oh
opinions.
yeah, you will.
Like there's some creators that I feel you cannot redeem yourself, not anytime soon. So
I
it's
agree.
kind of like sometimes I see them on someone else's platform and I think to myself, why are you giving them this space? Or I do think it, but I would never
Mhm.
call them out for it because they're giving them an opportunity that I would not myself give. Okay. That's
Exactly.
not my place to call someone out for that. That's my place to sit back and think, well, there's lots of people in this chat who are not me, who haven't formed that opinion. And as far as Lisa's panel, that's exactly, I'll say it, what I was thinking. Why even give this person a platform? Because all she's going to do is lie, right? But how many people are in there who don't know this person and she's just showing her for what she is? And she did it respectfully, and it is what it is. I hope other people saw her for what she is. Not Lisa, I mean her guest.
But I don't always have open panels though, Queen. That's the thing.
No.
I don't. I have a lot of closed ones too. And
No, I think she means like
I get what she's saying.
yeah.
I don't have an issue with the people coming at me. I just laugh that stuff off. But I did sympathize completely with Lisa and how she felt, because there is things that happen there and it feels, I'm sure she felt a certain type of way when like her subs, her people, are saying, "Oh my gosh, I didn't like this," or "I might leave you because of that."
I don't
It
feel like
is
that's fair
frustrating.
though.
No,
I
it's
Oh
don't.
no,
not.
It's
I'm not
not.
leaving anyone. I may tune out. Or I may
Yeah.
sit and listen and be like, man, I hope someone makes content out of this crap. I'm just saying.
Right.
I think what she did was great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what
I,
I've seen from creators that will do that, it also it shows people. I mean, Laura's not going to be a different person whether she's on her channel or on Lisa's panel. And for me, even though she is not my favorite person at all, it it also is showing people in Lisa's chat who Laura really is, if that makes sense. I don't.
I feel
That's
like
what
she's
I
a
was
little
trying
bit
to
more
say.
It
timid
does.
on other
I
people's
think it
when
panels.
does.
when I landed on YouTube, I've spoke about this a lot before, but when I landed on YouTube, I landed in Ziggy's chat. Now, Ziggy was the channel that had the open panels all night, every night. Heck, most of the time, she didn't even know what was going on her panel. And
Mhm.
she was up late. And I think that that's what also attracted people is you have people, she's up from, 7 o'clock at night to 7 in the morning, sometimes doing a live stream. And so you have all these people up there on panel with all these differing opinions, and sometimes it would turn into fights. I didn't like that portion, but I loved that. I love that there was this space that people could come to and freely express themselves and go back and forth and have these conversations. And, you know, I don't think she necessarily handled every situation the best. I know I don't either, but I take from that that it's really nice that people do want to be heard. They want the opportunity to click the link, come up and say what they have to say, and either move on or, fix it. And so
Yeah.
that's what I took away from her open panel concept, and I really enjoyed
Mhm.
it. And so that's why I ran with, like, okay, let me do some of my own stuff, but also let me have some of these and do this, because that's what I first landed in. And I think a lot of us, we take what we first came to YouTube and found and what we
Yeah.
were first a part of, and we think that that's how the rest of the community is. And that's the point of these lives. It's not, and we have to get outside of our bubbles. Get out of
Mhm.
my bubble. We have
And
to
a
get
lot of
outside of our own little
creators,
bubbles and try to look at things from others' points of view.
yes. And while she was doing that, I'm speaking specifically of Lisa. What I saw
Mhm.
was while she was doing that and asking questions, a lot of you creators ask questions you already know the answers to. You just want to hear it out of the horse's mouth. No pun intended there. But
Yeah.
Gotcha on
for
that one,
other
Green.
people to see it for themselves,
There was a
right? So you
button.
want to give them just enough rope, right? And what they do with it, they
Yeah.
do with it.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because the more Laura talks, and I'm speaking of Lisa's too, or if somebody jumped up there and challenged her,
Hmm.
she, if she is more timid on somebody else's or whatever, she's going to show herself,
That
you
is true.
know?
That is true,
Well, do
Stephanie.
you disagree with her because you don't like? I find that people, even people I don't agree with, I find things like even people I
Not,
don't appreciate or don't like, I don't know what the right word is because I don't hate
uh-huh.
anyone, but even people I'm not fans of, I can
Yeah.
always, there's stuff that they say that I absolutely agree with. And that's for everybody. And
I
so,
do
Oh,
but
sometimes.
100%.
I do
yeah,
sometimes, but
and I think, oh,
not her. Not her at all for me.
see, okay, so
No.
there it is. You have something with her that like you can't even like when she hopped up and told us about Kendrick Johnson's case. I love that. I appreciated that, like, because I didn't know that case in depth. And then her and Tracy hop up and tell us about it. I think that's great because they had done the research, put in the time, and had put
Hmm.
that out there. So they knew what was
Right.
being discussed in that time and that place. Yet so many people were just focused on their hate for her that you weren't even listening to what she was saying and telling us in that moment. I don't
You know
I don't
why?
understand
Right.
that. Like, and I'm just being serious. I
My
don't understand that. That's what I'm trying to understand
That
with
goes
all
back to
this.
what Grain was just
Yeah.
describing that she
Yes.
went through.
Yeah.
yes, but I've heard a lot of times that she'll jump up on someone's panel and her words seem okay or oh, I can relate to that. But then when she does a live right afterwards because she's
Exactly.
butthurt. Her
Yep.
actions do not reflect what she just said.
On another panel,
Mhm.
exactly.
And for me with her, I've just seen that so much over the years
That I don't
that
even listen.
I just can't anymore with her. So, and I say that for me
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
somebody else is going to be different, right? So
Mhm.
that hasn't seen her for years. So, and I'm not that way with everybody that and like I don't hate anybody on here either. But some people that I don't support or watch or think they're doing things I don't agree with, I don't feel that strongly about them necessarily. And so I may listen from time to time. But Laura is just not one of those people for me specifically.
Um.
Yeah, you
Sometimes
can
I.
have people that's not for you that you just can't. You don't
Right,
want to listen
exactly.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's
We
weird
all
because sometimes
misspeak
I agree with
sometimes.
Laura, and I have to. She's not wrong 100% of the
It's
time. It's
impossibly wrong 100% of the time. It really
right.
is.
She's just she'll be honest, and well, her honesty. I feel like
She
she
doesn't
feels like
stand
she's
on her
being honest the whole
convictions.
time. She
No.
doesn't. She's contradicting herself constantly, and that's where the problem comes in. I would love for Laura to feel comfortable enough to come up here and talk things through, but she won't because it's been war. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in a fight, she's
Yeah.
like that. I feel like I don't know. I feel like she was a little more reasonable in the past than lately. It's like back and forth, back and forth. Like
And
these convictions she
doesn't
supposedly stood
remember.
on, she's just
Yeah,
like went back on everything.
she doesn't remember her lies. And for me too, I cannot stand a liar. You
I
can
know.
be,
So it's
When
going
you
yeah,
back
lie
to the
so
lies.
much, you can't
yeah.
possibly
Mhm.
remember all of them. You cannot possibly
No,
remember every lie you told. I mean,
It
when you
goes.
lie like that all the time.
you
It
can
goes
be a
back.
horrible, shitty person. Oh, sorry.
No, you're
I
good.
honestly,
Let me interrupt real quick because Ben Dreamin and Social Fade sent super chats. Ben Dreamin sent $4.99. It says, "Thank you, Johnson, for paneling this with a little chicken." Oh my God, my chickens! It's so hot today.
Oh,
We
it's
gave them
pretty
some
wonderful.
ice a little
I
bit ago.
didn't see.
And then Social Fade said, "Thanks for the live. I didn't see anything worth watching on Netflix, Hulu, or Prime. Thank y'all. Let's play George real quick and we'll continue the conversation. Shake that ass, George. If I can find him.
Get it?
Where's he at? He disappeared.
He ran off
Where's
on
my
you.
George?
What happened to George?
Oh, I
George is
found
on
him.
bus.
I'm like jealous of a chicken's moves. It's ridiculous.
Shake your tail, fellas.
Thank y'all so much. Sorry. He was there the whole time. I'm super faded, so it is what it is.
I'm gonna jump down, y'all. Thank you for having me, Johnson, and it was good talking to all you guys.
good talking
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thanks
Have
for
a
coming
good
up.
Loved
day.
your input. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all have a good Saturday.
You too, baby.
I enjoy the different. I don't know. I enjoy the different points of views, and I love considering them. But I get that not everybody does, and so.
And you're not gonna get along with all your friends either. I mean, you're not gonna be on the same page as the people that you fuck with every day. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah.
It's the same.
It's a good
And
topic.
I'll say it. One of my bad traits is I'm very, very unforgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Not grain, no.
Well,
I mean,
that
I
could
don't
be one of my.
retaliate. I don't, look for revenge. I'm just done.
You just retract yourself, right?
Yeah, there's nothing in it for me anymore at a certain point, so I'm just done.
Yeah, that's what I
And I
just
don't
said.
mean that like nothing in it for me, like a gain. I mean, I'm not learning anything. I'm just constantly angry watching this person. I'm not getting anything out of it, so I'm just done.
Yeah, that's
I
how I
think
am.
there's a
I'll
lot of
just
people
stop
like
watching altogether. I'll just stop watching altogether. It's like I don't even bother anymore if it gets to that point. That's how I am with BHB and Dolly at this point. I hardly
Oh,
ever.
I haven't watched BHB in forever.
See,
I
I
watched
can't do it
BHB in
anymore. That's the one I'm
8 months.
specifically in my brain thinking about. I cannot. I don't have No. Mm-mm.
Well, that was the other
I
thing.
get
Like
too angry.
I never even watched anyways. Like MGL and all these other. I never watched them. J for All. I never watched any of those people before. So it's like That's why I don't even have an opinion when most of the stuff gets talked about. And with like BHB and Dolly and them, I just stopped tuning in. It's like, yeah, there's nothing there for me. I either get pissed off or I'm just frustrated when I do watch it, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
it's better for just stay away from it.
So where did you first land when you came to YouTube backlist?
Oh, I was
Like
all over the place.
your first couple creators that you were watching.
Yeah, for I watched when I did true crime, I was on YouTube for like the last 15, 16 years, just like
Right,
messing
right.
around but not doing anything. But true crime, I would say I saw all the ones at the beginning, like Mommy Ramblings. It was way back then when Zab Girl, when she had her man on there, I used to watch them. Just whoever would talk about true crime, basically, or a case that was going on, I was interested
Dang,
in.
you're pretty old school in the true crime, huh?
Yeah, I've been in true crime. I watched the O.J. Simpson trial, like every part of it, when back in the day when that was going on. So I've always
Pre-internet, when it
pre-internet.
monopolized like every cable channel there fucking was.
Exactly.
Tony Dodd, John Lord.
But then
Lord.
I ended up watching the panel stuff. I started liking the panels, and just like Dietz was saying, everyone else's opinion. I love that. I love hearing what everyone else, because we all have different life experiences, and I think that really makes up how we interact, and how we perceive stuff, how we take stuff in. And I just like to see everyone's opinion. I'm a big people watcher, though. Like, my new thing now I've been watching is Venice Beach. I'll just watch the live stream because I just like watching people and just seeing how
You
they
watch
do.
the Venice lives?
Really, you've been doing
Yeah.
He does.
I'll have it on my TV just sitting there, and I'll look. Oh, like, oh yeah, it's the same dude from yesterday. I'm like,
I went and
Just
met.
dancing in the street.
I went and met another YouTuber out there last year at the boardwalk. I went and met Crime Stalker. Her name's Paige, and another person from YouTube came with her. And I clocked out where that camera was and like went and tried to wave at it.
Really?
Oh, you're in LA, right?
Yeah, I'm in LA.
I love my new thing that I watch too is the guy that follows the delivery robots. That
Oh
dude
my
is
God,
hilarious.
yes!
I love that guy.
Oh my God, I love him.
Wait,
He just
Like,
talks to them like they're normal people. It's like, what are you
because
doing,
they all
Marshall?
got
Get up
they
off
all
the
got
curb.
they got all names and stuff, like
Yeah.
Marcus and Shelby, like fucking.
what?
I
What is
love
that
that
trying
guy.
to what's it
Oh, Shelby, get the fuck over here. And then we got fiend ass Marcus over here getting high off lithium. Oh, he's funny.
Yeah, that
Wait,
guy's
they're
good.
actual robots that deliver shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, in like the Hollywood area and downtown LA area, they do, and it's really weird. But like they'll stall out and stuff, and I so wish I would have thought of that for channel content. I really wish I would have thought of that first, but I didn't. But yeah, it's pretty genius. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Yeah, no, back to the true crime thing. I got to the point now where I kind of like it when it's all said and done, and like everything's there, and then someone goes back and recaps the whole freaking story, and it's all the facts. It's all what's happened. It's none of the bullshit theories or trying to figure out the case. It's already been figured out and done with. I kind of like that now. I'm kind of gravitating to that part of true crime rather than like, oh man, let's have I like hearing the theories and stuff, but it just when it gets too crazy, like Ryan did, it loses my interest altogether.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like I've been really deep diving on the old shit with that case with Ryan and all. My God, how are more people not embarrassed of their behavior? I don't understand it. I get it. I get it. Look, it's different opinions, blah, blah, blah. But when your opinion, like sometimes people just have opinions that fucking they think wrong is right. Like, how is going at this grieving mother, like, that's my opinion is that she set this up. Like, you gotta fucking, okay, with rights come responsibility. There is nobody is above reproach. Like freedom of
Yeah.
speech doesn't mean you're free from consequence, like they always say. Like, it's
Nope.
just insane to me. Like, some of the things that were said about that woman, and they still continue to say about this woman and her family and everybody involved and her friends. It's just
Yeah, no,
unfucking
it is
believable.
surprising because, like, same with I mean, Summer's always been like that, but yeah, with that case, there's still people to this day. There's probably a live going on right now where they're still saying the same crap that Ryan said about her, and the other side was like, what are
There
you talking
is.
about?
They're still
Yeah,
doing it.
it's
There's a whole channel
Yeah,
that talks about it, all the squirrels on fire or something. They talk about it all the time. And so
really,
somebody was
yeah.
saying, like, why aren't they getting sued? Because they're actively talking about it. I know Ryan is a big platform, but like they're
Because
actively talking about it.
probably
Mm.
because like they don't even know about that channel. Like, it does matter because he
Right.
has a
It
big,
does.
huge platform.
Well, he
You
was
know.
on there the other night. It's insane. It's a small channel that has had these conspiracies, and when I don't remember who was playing the clips of them, I was like, wait, I know that person. Like, she used to hop up on another creator's channel in this
I
community
know
I
who you're
know,
talking
and
about.
I know,
Yeah.
right, yeah, Ellie, where I met you, and so like
Yep.
that's where I was like, wait, she has her own channel and she's still
Yeah.
talking about this,
She
and
just
it's
like never stopped from back in
and
the day.
she's
She
like
just never
doxing
stopped.
all the kids that were at the party that live in Truckee. That like it's
They've gone
insane.
so deep.
This
Jesus.
must be what I saw the other day. Someone had
Yeah,
clipped or was going over someone's stream, and I'm like, when did this happen?
yeah.
And they're like, just last night. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy that them and there's like one other one that will do not as much, but
What the
still
fuck, Capone? Are you fucking
Just
serious?
stop with the shit stirring, Capone. How about that?
And I can't even look at the chat, guys. That was Marshall that called. I'm getting ready for his
She's
party,
been
so I
on for
was like,
2 fucking hours. Who gives a fuck? Little do you know they're in a fucking DM together, dumb fuck.
I know
Oh,
he's
this
so
is one
fucking
of the
dumb.
cloned accounts.
That's probably one of his.
oh,
Probably one of his
okay.
clones.
So I had someone in my chat yesterday asking that question, and we did it at the end of the live. So it's probably the same troll.
yeah, that's what Queen was saying. It's a
There's a
troll. Like it's a
few
I'm
so
not
far.
in. The way I answered it yesterday is for me personally, I look and see if any other creator that I appreciate's live. And if they're not, then I go live. And
Same. That's what I do.
I understand. I'm not in any. I know that Joneson does though. She talks to people and says like, "Hey, I'm gonna go live at this time. Do you mind if I go live at that time?" I don't do that, but I
Sometimes
know
I don't do
others
it all the
do.
time.
But it just happens. Like yesterday when I was live, Rabbit and another one of my creator friends was live.
Hmm.
Unfortunately it
I
happens,
went to
but
start my live up today. Listen how bizarre this is. I went to start this live up today, and all of a sudden, a notification about Deetz's live yesterday popped up on my screen, and I didn't read it. It just had the red dot, and it was like Deetz is going live.
yeah.
So I completely deleted that stream
Mm-hmm.
and
As
went looking for Deets, and she wasn't live. So
long as it's
then
not
I
like
went
a
back. Yeah,
repeat
I wasn't gonna
pattern where
start.
like if they were constantly doing it over and over and over again, then I'd
Yeah,
be like, yeah, that creator's trying to tell you something without telling you something.
yeah, I agree.
There's not enough hours in a day. You know what I mean? There really isn't.
There's really not. You're gonna keep stepping. You're gonna step on each other's toes.
Yeah, you're gonna overlap at some point. I do the same thing. I try to wait
Well,
and not have anybody live, but you never. If you have something planned, you're gonna, you have a topic you're gonna discuss. It doesn't matter. It's just it is what
The
it is.
reason why I said 2 hours is because, like, back in the day, like, we always did like a 2 hour grace period. Like, they've been on for
oh
2 hours. Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna
oh
set my link
interesting.
up.
Oh, you got
Like,
2 hours? I get 30.
like
And even if you
you know,
don't, when you can squeeze it in, you squeeze it in.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
feel
just
like
go
life
with the
is
it's
too
not
flow.
that
busy.
deep. But
No,
clearly, that doesn't even sound like Capone. That actually sounds like a certain person.
It does. Yeah.
Certain person. Yeah. Uh-huh. Anyway, nice try, babe. Fuck.
What was
I
that?
can't with
Hot
this
dog
shit.
said, just fact, she's more
Are
honest
we
than most
talking
of
about
you.
the birthday stream?
birthday
No.
stream.
Okay.
What?
What?
I thought Kathy would know what I meant and if that's who that person
Birthday
was.
stream.
If I said the birthday
Oh,
stream.
oh.
Wait, I
I
missed
guess I'm
somebody's
wrong.
birthday. Hold on.
Happy birthday.
Grain talking in code.
I
Now we're all
don't.
trying
Yeah,
to
I don't
figure
know
it
what the
out.
birthday stream is.
Fuck it, I'll put it
I'm
into
so
the
lost.
chat.
Yeah, back chat us, Greens.
Uh-oh. Now everybody in chat's going to be like, oh, they're doing
Oh,
the back
Oh,
chat
this was a
again.
complaint, but I love that I'm up here.
Nailed it, Cappy. Nailed it.
I hate when I'm down in the chat and people are like, look in the back chat.
Oh, see, that was
But
like
I love it when I'm on
very
panel.
useful. It was very useful today. Totally. Interesting. Yeah, like you could tell people's writing styles sometimes. You know what I mean? When you get to know them enough and read enough messages
Oh
from
yeah, I
somebody.
got a troll that I'm pretty sure I know exactly who it is based on their writing style. Like,
I still would not be a good troll. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you'd be probably easy to figure
Dang, that's
out.
a good
I've
one.
been blocked everywhere. Okay.
I think
And
I
I'm
would.
respectful. I'm not even a good troll. Okay. I'm respectful. I'll
No.
ask a simple question and just get blocked.
Boom.
I'm blocked in Dolly. I'm blocked in Laura. I'm blocked in Bullhorn. I'm blocked every fucking where.
Everybody's
Damn,
just
Grant, you a
blocking
thug.
you, Gray.
They're onto you, Grain.
Grant got the thug life.
And all I ask is a simple question.
Yeah, block her. Block her. No question.
Is it the way it's like? What do you think it is? You think it's the way it's wrote? You think it's
No, I
Or
think
just
it's
that
just because of my name and where I go, where they
and
see
you're
me
that
from. So I'm
associated
just,
with this channel,
yeah,
this channel, and this
yeah. So
channel.
just
So you're
gone.
yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
I think I'm
How
on
it
that
goes.
list.
The list.
Mhm.
I think we
ooh?
all
And
are.
I'm not even
I
a
mean,
creator, so how intimidated can you fucking be?
yeah, I'm on a list, I think too, and I'm not a creator.
Right?
I hate lists or something sometimes. I don't know why. I mean, people like I feel like there's enough people that people are just not going to like each other, and that's just life. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
not
exactly.
everybody likes each other.
Yeah.
You
Why
know,
does
and
B-Tim hate Ellie so much? I don't get it.
I
I
don't
mean,
care.
But
I
then
don't
these
know
same
about
creators
y'all.
that blocked me also threw me wrenches in someone else's freaking channel. Okay,
See,
so
that's interesting, right?
Well, I mean, I just had to I had to mod Morbid because I know there are some people that don't agree with him, and I don't want them to think that just because he's in my chat they can delete him. You know what I'm saying?
Is he in
Yeah.
here?
He was earlier. I modded him,
Oh,
but
okay.
they've done left.
He's
I
I
just,
can leave.
I don't know
I was gonna
about
tell
y'all,
him.
but hey, Jeannie, I'm about to bring you up.
and,
You want your camera on or off?
and listen, the only time I've ever heard Laura say I misspoke was after Morbid did his stream. Okay, that's the only time I've heard her say she misspoke, but I corrected it later. Is when she was not threatened but warned.
Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but I don't deal with 400 people at one time at any given time on a daily basis in my real life.
Right? I
No.
mean, none of us do. And it's like really like kind of hard to put all that pressure on like people talking on panel to like kind of like know every single person in chat, know where
That's
they're
true.
coming from, read their tone. And like that happens a lot where people are talking to you, us like on the panel from chat, and things get misconstrued like in a second. And then that turns into like
And
a big
text sometimes is so hard to get the context out of. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's just the nature
And
of it.
listen, when I'm on a panel, I don't even look to see how many people are in chat.
Listen, to me, it's not to mention that not everybody is mentally stable. Let's just keep it real. And
I
when
mean,
you've
Yeah.
I'm
got,
right here.
you know, you're coming into contact with 400 people, there's a possibility a majority of that group ain't all there. I'm just saying. So
Exactly. You're not like sitting down having a talk with them face to face where you can get like a whole bunch from just that. You have to get like very little from words, you know, a little bit more from our voices and our tone and stuff, but it's
It,
not everything, not
Yeah.
right?
no,
'Cause you
and
get a
this is
lot
where
from someone's
dog
expression.
whistling is awful. Awful.
yeah.
You have, thousands of people, some creators have, not just 400, thousands of people in here listening to you, and you dog whistle. I mean, chances are greater that someone's gonna do whatever you want done for you. So just behave
So
your damn self.
what I do, I actually do deal with a lot of people at once. 400 would be the top of that for sure, but I I get what you're saying. It is hard to
Yeah,
wrangle them.
it ain't even gotta be 400 deep.
As
It could
one
be
The
person,
50.
it's different though. As one
It
person,
is.
you could go through and you know your people and you're the creator and it's just you and them having a conversation. That's a whole different story than 6 or 7 people on a channel trying to all read chat here and there.
Right.
It's
Look at
different.
this. Did you look at this comment? Look at this comment.
Jones and
I
Laura
told
was
y'all
worried
I know
about
who's
you.
behind that account.
Oh my gosh,
Disgusting,
that's
disgusting human being.
disgusting.
What the fuck?
You
Oh my, see, this person, that's
see
just
that?
going too far. You can have your differences
And
between
I've been
Laura and
really
Josen,
respectful to them in
and
chat.
you can
Yeah.
feel however
Someone
you
block that
feel about
person.
that situation, but to say something like that, that's so vile.
That's
How would
just
you,
Too
How
anger.
would you even let that come out of your mouth and type that? Like, or even
I'll
think
burn a
that?
Anger.
pine cone for you, motherfucker. Just
Oh my
saying.
god.
Trash ass motherfucker.
I don't understand. But see, that goes to show because I have been very kind to Hot Dog today in this chat. But it goes to show because the other day I was mentioned in another live by Hills, so I went over to that live to talk with Hills, and I was so fucking respectful,
I
y'all.
watched. I was there.
I was so respectful, and some of Laura's subs that just fucking hate my guts just would not stop. Would not stop coming for me. It's weird. It's strange and obsessive and
Oh my god.
I had your back in there.
Like for reals? I just saw it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That
Yeah,
was disgusting.
disgusting, Cappy.
What I was gonna say before that disgusting vile comment was that people just want to be heard, and that's why I take the time to go through my chat, like try to take the time to go through my chat all the time, because that's what people want. No matter
Yeah.
what side they're on, people want to be heard and at least try to be understood. But when you come at someone like that and you say things like that, no, you're just wanting to be vile and nasty.
it's wild, man.
When
And
I
it
was
was
telling
it wasn't
you,
necessarily it wasn't like that, but it was just constant fat shaming, and I mean, I was being so respectful. I just can't even y'all.
when I was
I
saying
couldn't. I
earlier,
was
I'm very
flabbergasted.
unforgiving. That's what I would be very unforgiving about. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it right out there. And I'm not dog
And I
whistling.
have
I'm not
the
threatening.
thing
If
is,
that person said that in front of me to you in real life, they would be flat on their fucking ass.
They never
Frank,
would though.
Bullshit.
They wouldn't, not in real
the
life.
They
They wouldn't
never
talk to
would.
people like
That's
that
what
in
makes
real
this
life.
place worse.
I've
It is
even
worse.
mentioned that I think I said it. It might have been in Deetz's live. It was in somebody's live. I was like, or no, it was in Crimes and Fashions live. Like, I'm not even dwelling on that anymore. I do forgive her for allowing my video to upset her to that extent, but I'm just fucking over it. And they just, I don't know. That bothered
That's
me.
too far. Well, that should bother. That would bother anyone.
It's
Any
way
one
too
of us
far.
had that
Disgusting.
said to us, it would bother us because that's what type of person even thinks those things?
If
Like,
that was said to my
you have to
arch
be in a
enemy, it'd
weird head.
bother me. Like I
Oh,
would stand up for anybody with a comment like that. That's
Well, I
sick.
was gonna
Exactly.
say
One or
it
two
bothers
people
me
that we
for
know, you know.
yeah, I know who it is, I'm pretty sure.
I
But
think we
it
yeah.
bothers me
And what if
that
it did happen, you motherfucker? What if it
that's
did
what I was about
happen?
to say.
yeah,
Yeah, it bothers me
exactly.
for other people that things that have went through things like that. That comment,
Right.
and yes, I did highlight it. Maybe I shouldn't have, but in that moment, I said this needs to be seen because this person has been in here the whole time, standing up for Laura. I have been respectful to them, and they still find a reason to go to that level, to stoop to that level.
Her
It
supporters
needs to be known.
her supporters would never do something like that.
Well, that's
What
what
do
she
you
said about.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
What has been
Shit
that
sucks.
done to them that they feel that it's okay to publicly chat something like that?
But I
That is
do
what I
want.
think of, and I feel sorry for you.
Well, yeah,
There's
they
the
were
thing
throwing
that.
jabs the whole
Sorry.
time too, and that was like a big right hook there at the end. It's like what the, like, and everyone was kind of being nice to them and like
Yeah.
giving them the benefit of the doubt, saying, okay, it's your opinion, let's not bash anyone. And then he just escalated. It kept getting worse and worse, and then I mean, what? The,
And this comes back to Dietz's live she held about the mods. And it was, why she started this whole saga in the first place, because the conversation was had on Dietz's panel when Laura was up there, like, do you not feel responsible, or should she be held responsible for what her subs do? And I'm like a 50-50 on that, because I feel like that's your
Yeah.
supporters. They're
Well, that's
standing
what
up
I
for
was.
you.
That's what I was gonna bring up. I feel like maybe. I know Cappy. I feel like Cappy and I have the same opinion on this. I don't hold Laura accountable for what that person just said, unless it was her herself. But
Right.
that's one of her. If it, I don't even know if it's one of her people. I don't know who Hot Dog is. I don't know who the troll behind it is or anything like that. So I don't. I
Look,
can't put it on someone. But that was one of the questions that was brought up. Do you attach that to a creator? I personally think it's unfair to do so, but the majority do, and that's
The only
my
and
motivation
that's
reason,
where
in
my
it.
brain
listen,
went. My brain went
Mhm.
to, you're
but
a
you
supporter of
guys,
Laura. Like, you're doing this to take up for her. That's where my mind went. And I'm not ashamed to say it.
I
Yeah, but if
agree with
some,
you, Deets,
sorry.
like that. Yeah, you can't. I can't be responsible. I got mods in all different
Mm-hmm.
communities. I have a collective of people in there.
Exactly.
Some of them are
Yeah.
outspoken, some are not. Some aren't even. Some are no longer with us. I really need to go through it. Anyway, like seriously though, if Laura, the only reason I'm going to hold Laura accountable for that comment is because she's constantly making these broad stroke, like blanket statements, like my supporters would never do that. That's your supporters. They
Didn't
do
she
that.
say that last night,
She
Kathy?
says it all the damn time. She's always like, my people would never say that. My mods would never say that. My Patreons, my supporters, they would never
But
do this or never do that.
when it comes in under a troll account, that's the problem. Is you can't pinpoint it back
Right.
to who that
But
Oh,
I
person
think
come
it
on,
should,
hot
I think
is.
dog
it should,
water.
but listen, I think it should teach her a lesson not to make those broad statements.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
because they
control
wouldn't
chat
be
a little
running
bit.
with. Look, that person wouldn't have even made a comment like that had it not been put in the fucking what you call it? What you
Atmosphere.
call it?
Put in the
Atmosphere.
air by
Out in the
Laura.
atmosphere. And
Yeah.
Almost
I
called it
agree with you,
environment.
Kathy, because like none of you, no one probably knows even what community my mod Ladybug Lakes is from, because there's so many different communities that are encompassed there.
Lawn care
And
community.
she's not from the lawn care community, but anyway, there's a. I don't even know where I was
Look,
going. You threw me off, Nick. I'm
Did you
sitting here
say
I love
struggling
you,
lawn
my
care?
baby.
thinking.
I love you,
Yeah.
baby. I'm gonna need you to keep chatting because I'm figuring you're just confirming who you are.
Who?
Keep going.
Oh, I thought
I
you were
love
saying
you,
that.
Oh,
I
baby.
thought you were saying I
Oh,
love
you're
you,
like,
baby,
oh
to
my
me,
God.
because I'm not
You're
looking
like,
at my
what?
phone. I was like, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
She's like,
sorry.
the lawn care community. What did we do? You outed us.
Oh, like, they're
That's
so
my
cute
bad.
over
Sorry.
there.
She, I guess she
I gotta drop down, Jonesy. Thanks for having me
Okay,
up. It was
baby.
good talking to y'all. Love y'all.
Thank
Bye,
Bye.
you.
Kathy.
see
You're
you.
so funny.
When
That shit
Cappy
was
said
wild.
I have mods in different places, I don't know why it popped in my head, but I was thinking I got mods in different area codes. I was
No,
like,
different area codes.
see,
I
this
I
is
can
what
got
we
see
were
that.
mods.
I
talking
have
about,
mods
B
from all
Tim.
over.
Tim, we can run errands all over town. Go to the next town, run errands. Go to the grocery store. Go get your oil changed. Do whatever you got to do, and nobody would say such a fucking thing.
Look at this comment. Look at this comment. Social fade.
Can you read it to me? Is
Yeah, I
it
was
bad?
looking at Jay. Hold on. No. Social Fade said her subscribers have no place to go, so they create animosity so Laura can address it and give them some place to go. Quite pathetic, really. That's kind of what it seems like, because nobody's really been even going for Laura, you know what I'm saying? But she keeps on. And so it does kind of seem like that.
Listen, that bitch never smiles. She never laughs. She's miserable, and she needs something to be miserable about daily.
That's sad.
It is sad.
But again, I've been, like, it's exhausting. Like, I was gonna do this live based on Laura, but it's so exhausting
Mm-hmm.
to go through her content because it's just so it's
It's redundant.
all misinformation or lies. And like I said, sometimes I can't say all, let me retract that. Most of it is, but sometimes she is honest, and I don't know, but I've tried to fall back from her because I'm just over it, and they just don't stop, man. They are so hateful.
Yeah, especially that one.
Yeah, she flip flops so much though with her stance on anything. It's like you can have an opinion, and maybe with more facts, you may change your opinion to something else. But she's just like one side to the other side, back to the other side, back to the other side.
And
And
it's hard
that's
to
right for them, but
go
it's
over
hard.
that.
Yeah.
She's a fish out of water. That's what she is. Like
It's
you're
back
saying,
and
one
forth,
side to
back
the
and
other
forth, back
side.
and
She's
forth.
just flipping, flipping, flipping.
Yeah.
Contradiction after contradiction, and that's what makes it so exhausting to try to cover her, you know. So I've just gotten to the point, like, unless she does something fucked up, I ain't with it no more. I'm like, girl, do your thing, do your thing. Anyways, all right, so Queen is going live, so I'm gonna end it here. I've been live 2 hours and 20 minutes,
I gotta go to
and
the
my
store.
I
I
would
hub
got
like to
just got
say
home.
something.
beer.
Go ahead,
Fuck.
baby.
I would like to say
Final
something.
thought.
My my thought is, I think we all need to send Valoma some extra love and light today because it is the
Yes.
anniversary of her son's
Oh gosh.
passing.
Okay.
Sorry, I was talking with my hubby, but I completely agree. Paloma needs some extra love.
Absolutely. Yeah, my hubby just got home
Sure.
too.
For sure.
I got my
All right.
Anybody
Well,
else
thank you
have
for
any final
having me.
thoughts?
No, thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
having me.
having me up and let me chit chat.
Oh, thanks for
Lots
coming
of
up, babe.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to go back through this later and read the chat. I was told I could not look at it the entire time. So, but I love doing that. But
Yeah.
I just thank you.
Cool. Thank
Have
you
a
Bye,
great
guys.
day, guys.
Tomorrow latest. I have my fights in an hour. I gotta go to the freaking store and grab some stuff.
Do you? It's in an hour, Boston.
4 p.m. So it's 2 hours, but I'll be
So
back.
it'll be over early.
Yeah. Yes, it will. So I'll probably be done at 10.
Ooh, so maybe we could play a drinking game.
Oh yeah.
What?
I'll
Do
be
y'all want to
tipsy
play a
too.
drinking game?
Tonight at
Hell
like
yeah.
10?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, because if it doesn't rain, I'm going right now to go find me some pine cones and dry them out in the sun, and I'm going to be burning them in the fire tonight for that damn hot dog.
I'm getting some
Oh my
fireball then.
god.
I'm getting some fireball.
All right, so let's plan on that. If anything changes, I'll message y'all or I'll put it on my community post. But yeah, I'm down to do something like that.
Hell yeah. I'll already be tipsy, so let's rock and roll.
All right, bet.
Cool.
Thanks for coming up, y'all. Thank
See
you
you guys
for
later.
coming up, Ellie. Blood.
Notice I don't have to go to the liquor store. I just got to go collect pine cones.
Yeah, I ain't got to go to the liquor store either.
I'll see y'all later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.
Thanks for
Thanks
coming,
for having
guys.
Love
Good brains.
ya.
Love you guys. Bye.